It's in the game. EA Sports, isn't that advertisement? Yeah. So, welcome to session 3 of the Order of the Stone. This is Act 2, and in the first act, over the course of 2 sessions, we were sent for various reasons to the SS Champagne, a ship adrift at sea on its way from Ireland to Boston. We had different reasons for wanting to be there. The professor and Rebecca were hoping to meet the professor's cousin, Freddie Green, who was returning from a trip to Ireland on that ship. And Stella and William were hired by Professor Bethnell at Miskatonic University to find out what had happened to an archaeological dig funded by the university that was returning with artifacts from Ireland on said ship. Rory Campbell, meanwhile, was a fisherman whose boat was then hired by the other 4 to go out and investigate what had happened. And upon arriving, the ship was dead in the water, no power. It was a scene of carnage. There was blood everywhere. It looked like the entire crew and passengers aboard had been savagely murdered. Power was eventually restored. Anchor was lowered to try and slow down the ship. Some steering was regained. You discovered that in one of the rooms, in one of the suites, in fact, where there was very little carnage. This room looked to be all but untouched. It was suite A5, and in this suite you found a piece of a journal, and that journal, I think, is this one. Nope, this one right here. And you should all have access to it, but just in case, I will send it to you. You found this piece of a journal that made it sound like there was something nefarious going on, something of an occult nature. Some sort of ritual had taken place, and it sounds like 30 days between rituals is approximately what it takes, perhaps 1 lunar cycle. You also found a passenger manifest, and one portion of it looked to have been circled. Something was crossed off on there, and surprisingly this was all in suite A5, and this looks to be the archaeological team, including Dr. Nicholas Sebastian. There was also Marco Torres, Mickey Spill, Terrence Baker, and Octavius Ferris, but that name was crossed off for some reason. Searching around, you discovered a site of some sort of ritual that had taken place on board the ship. It looked as though an urn had been broken, and you had learned from Dr. Bethnell that this archaeological dig was being sent in order to find 3 urns, or they had discovered 3 urns, and this looked to have been one of them that had been destroyed. You discovered a strange axe-wielding man carrying a sack full of body parts. He was quickly dispatched by Stella and William. Professor Walters found his cousin dead in a room, and there was a scene of much grieving. Rebecca found a little kitty cat, and that kitty cat seemed to call to her from a hallway. And as she heard that sound, she went looking for this little kitty, because cats seemed to be attracted to her. And upon hearing that sound, she discovered it was not a cat, but was a terrible supernatural cosmic beast, a thing of liquid and ooze and smoke and hard chitinous plates with multiple tentacles that lashed out and attempted to kill them. The professor, quick thinking, pulled out his trusty lighter that was his father's and meant a great deal to him, along with his father's pipe. And he lit some loose papers in his pocket along with his beloved pocket square and threw it down on the carpet in front of the beast, and the beast recoiled from that fire before seeping down into a terrible or disappearing, seeping down through a drain. That beast then reappeared in front of Rory, who was trying to steer the vessel safely to shore. A brief battle ensued, a battle of wills, as the beast tried to overtake Rory's mind. The others found him at this time and did battle with the beast. thankfully, they had been given a document, a scroll, by a passenger that had hidden herself in the walls, a woman named Michelle O'Shaughnessy. This document contained a spell, and the professor and Rebecca quickly memorized the workings of the spell, and the professor was bold enough to even try casting it, and it was something that would ward or prevent this strange creature, who Rebecca determined the name was Agron based on a sigil written on the scroll, as well as on the ritual site. It bound Agron to a spot on the ship, and then through sheer luck and prowess of a bold sailor man, Rory was able to lower the life raft. People were able to get off. He had turned up all steam in the bridge to force the boiler to explode, and the SS Champagne went down to the bottom. And on the life raft was Professor Walters, Rebecca Shadow, Rory Campbell, Stella Harding, William Harding, and Michelle O'Shaughnessy. When you returned back to Boston after hours of rowing, exhausted, covered in sweat and brine, at least the storm had begun to abate. You were met by concerned onlookers seeking news of their loved ones that were on the SS Champagne. You spoke with the harbor master and likely with the harbor police as well. Over the next several days, let's just take a moment and you can kind of discuss or let us know how you spent the next 7, 10, 12 days after arriving back in Boston. We will start with William and Stella. How did you spend the next week and a half or so after arriving back? Yeah, so you sustained a pretty serious wound. In fact, a broken left arm. So you would need time to recover. In fact, just to recover your hit points is going to take you about 2 weeks. And so by the end of this 10, 12 days, you clearly went to the hospital, had a cast put on there. In fact, I'm going to have you make a constitution roll. Well, there we go. Do you want to spend 14 luck to pass that? Or you could push that roll. If you fail again, something terrible will happen. Maybe it gets gangrenous or something. You don't know. You can earn luck. In fact, I think you had a chance to raise your luck at the end of the last session. Yeah, and right. And if you ever are making a luck roll and you roll a 0-1, you will automatically gain 1d10 points of luck. So there's ways you can gain luck. But right now you are on borrowed time, it would seem. Lady Luck is not on your side. Do you want to push this roll or spend? It's probably like half of your remaining luck in order to make this check. What would you like to do? Right. Yeah, so what will happen is if you pass this, then you are well on your way to being recovered. You will have regained all your hit points. You still have that wound. That will take another couple of weeks for that to go away. But anytime you're doing something with your left arm, whether it's something involving strength or agility, anything where having a cast on that arm might make it difficult, you're going to have a penalty die. And that's if you pass your constitution roll. If you fail, then you will not have regained all your hit points. We'll make a roll to see how many hit points you have regained. And you will have a penalty die on even mundane tasks using that arm. So not just challenging tasks, but so there is a good reason to try to pass this. But at the same time, if you fail this pushed roll, not only will you be down hit points, but there's a chance that arm may start to stink and something bad may happen. Who knows if Agron didn't inject you with something that the doctors of the time are unable to diagnose. You do. Yeah, the bonus die. Uh-huh. Oh, oh man. 75 or 75, and you cannot use luck now. I thought for sure. Yeah, the likelihood of that is so slim. So you have 13 hit points. So let's roll a d6, and you're going to lose that many hit points. You just won't have recovered that. I can let you roll that if you want, or I can roll it for you. Oh, one. No big deal. So you'll just take one hit point off of your current, and everyone should have their daily sanity reset. I don't think anyone has any daily sanity loss right now. I think I went through and
I have one sanity loss.
Oh, you have 1 point of loss?
Yeah.
Let me just refresh that. There. Now you're back to 0. Yes. So if you are losing sanity, whenever the new day starts, you take 1/5 of whatever your current score is, and that's your new daily. So the lower your sanity gets, the less you can afford to lose day by day. So it's a slow grind into, death or insanity is coming for you. It's just a matter of when. Yeah. So William, so you will. Yes. So what were you and William doing? Excellent. And what is this kitty's name? Ellie? I love it. So you can add that to the character sheet as something that is important to you. Absolutely. You might have to unlock it to do the little lock thing on there. So it's probably under backstory, and under backstory, under possessions, you've got our pet cat Simba, and you can just unlock it, and Ellie. Yeah. Now, is Ellie a black cat like the one on the ship? Yeah, to you it's Billy. To everyone else it's William. Ooh, especially Rebecca.
Definitely.
Yeah, and so in fact, maybe you were drawn to that black cat, and you don't know, maybe you're not consciously aware of why you chose that color of cat, but somehow it's comforting to you to have that black cat around. Now, you were both hired by Dr. Bethnell. I'm assuming that there's a conversation you have with him about your findings. First thing he asks is, were there any survivors? What do you tell him? Yeah. So as far as you know, on the ship, Michelle O'Shaughnessy survived, but that was the only living human other than the one that you killed that you saw. She did. Yep. She asked you to. Yes. So he wants to know about Sebastian, but as far as everyone is concerned, everyone else went down with the ship. There were no other survivors. But Michelle seems to be of a mind that Dr. Sebastian left on board another ship. She was. Yep, they were carrying something covered under a tarp. Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, he looked death right in the eye, nearly died. Right, and so as far as Dr. Bethnell knows, you tell him everyone perished on the ship. Right. Yeah. Yeah. There'd be photographs of her getting off the ship with you. Yep. But she was not part of the expedition, so yeah, he is dismayed to hear that of the loss of so many good people hired by the school, as well as whatever priceless items that they may have found. But he thanks you for your diligence in doing your utmost to try and save them, but clearly it was a lost cause. Um, about 2 days later, you um, are approached by someone, and you receive a visitor, an older white gentleman, his hat in his hand, and he says, "I'm Martin Spill. My son, Mickey, was on the SS Champagne." A pained look crosses his face, and you can tell he's fighting back tears. I never wanted him to go overseas on that dig. It was a foul, cursed thing. But he was determined to see the world during his studies, and it was all expenses paid. I thought he had to be dead after what happened on that ship. And then I saw this, and he hands you a newspaper article. And let me send this to you. And Professor Walters and Rebecca, they read this one day in the paper, not far from here. And I'm going to make this available as a handout. Perfect. So you should all have that available. He says, "This Torres man, Mickey talked about him in his letters. He was one of the members of the dig crew. I thought if Torres was killed in Greyport, then he didn't die on the SS Champagne. And if he didn't die, then maybe Mickey didn't either. Maybe my Mickey is still alive." He chews on his lip for a moment, then hands you a photograph of his son. Send you this. And I will make this available to everyone. Please, will you look into this for me? Will you find out if Mickey is still there? If he survived the SS Champagne massacre? Please. He's all I have. I need to know the truth. I hear you're the best. And he looks at Stella, kind of wringing his hands, holding his hat. Just, you can tell he's a father that is desperate for any positive news about his son, Mickey. Can you help me? Well, thank you. I'm afraid I haven't much money, but keep a list of your expenses, and I'll see that it's paid, and whatever fee you demand. A father needs to know the fate of his son. And he begins to wipe tears from the corners of his eyes and nodding his head, muttering, thank you," as he walks out. At this same time, Rebecca is in the professor's office, perhaps discussing what had happened on the champagne, maybe going over comparing notes, perhaps even looking at that first fragment of the scroll of Zevon. And while you're doing this, Rebecca, you notice the newspaper on the desk, and you're recalling the weather as you look outside. It's stormy, just like it was the day you climbed aboard the SS Champagne. And as you glance at this newspaper, you discover something that makes your heart leap into your throat. There in print is an article about the murder of someone called Marco Torres, which occurred a few days ago in the small fishing village of Greyport. The name Marco Torres instantly rings a bell. Torres was a laborer working for Dr. Sebastian in Auchnacrega and was part of the team that went missing on the SS Champagne. Everyone thought that the entire team perished along with the rest of the passengers, but you had your doubts. And after everything you saw on the ship, the mention of Torres' name and his murder chills your blood and raises far too many questions. If Torres was in Greyport, who else from the dig team might also be there? Who killed him, and why? And perhaps you pull out the handout number 2 that has the manifest, and it shows indeed Marco Torres was circled as being in room A5. You might also see the name Mickey Spill on there, but right now that name means nothing to you, but it may mean a great deal to Stella and William. What do you and Professor Walters, what do you speak of when you see that news article, Rebecca?
Well, I'll bring up that I saw the same name on the ship document.
Honestly,
Perhaps we should investigate it.
I don't know about that. We should leave the investigating to the investigators. Now that I think about it, we did meet a few investigators the other day, didn't we? Do you have some way to get in contact with them?
Well, I'm sure we could find them somehow. Find a number in the phone book and such.
Well, if you have the time, my student, if you wouldn't mind finding their number. I have to get back to arranging the funeral of my cousin.
Oh, right. Of course. My condolences.
Yes, of course. It's a very serious moment.
Rebecca, why don't you give me a library use roll to see if you can pull up the phone number for Stella Harding, private investigator. You check in the directory, but there's nothing under that name. So it's going to take you a little time. So normally, if you had passed this roll, you would find it quickly. But if you fail this roll, it doesn't mean you don't find the name. It just takes you time. So maybe you have to call the operator and speak with several different operators until you can get connected through to Stella's private line. And as you call her, she has just read this same article and has just met Mr. Spill, who's looking for information on his son. And you discuss with one another what has happened, and perhaps you decide that very soon you should take a trip to Greyport. Now, before we jump any further ahead, Rory, your livelihood has been lost. The fishing vessel, the Foggy Sea, is now at the bottom of the Atlantic. How have you spent your time over the last couple of weeks?
Well, probably spent some time to wrap my mind around things, and then realize that the money is running short, and I'll have to find another some way to bring in some cash.
I'll give you an option. You can continue to work here in the Boston area, or you could head north an hour or two and visit the small town of Greyport, where
Oh yes,
there is a
in
fishing
fact
village.
I read a newspaper article, and there seems to be good work for fishermen up there, up north.
There is. In fact, there's a very successful cannery up in Greyport, and you could easily go and get a job there. And so perhaps you are preparing to head up there. Maybe you're on the bus heading north, and give me a luck roll, Rory, if you would.
Damn, our luck today.
Yeah, terrible. You don't notice. You get on the bus and you're kind of quiet and you're deep in your thoughts and you're thinking about that strange voice that you heard on the deck of the Champagne. Strange squealing, almost like metal grinding, the sounds of piping. It was a consciousness. It was trying to speak with you, and you were completely unaware of who else might be on this bus. William, give me a luck roll.
Okay.
Someone's got to make one. No one has made a roll yet. Nope. So, do you and Stella, do you take the bus or do you drive? You would have access to a vehicle. Do you drive to Greyport?
Yeah. I think we probably do have like a vehicle.
Yeah, a little Packard or something.
Yeah.
What about the professor? You have a car, Professor. Would you drive or would you take public transportation?
Oh, for some reason I figured I had someone who would drive me around.
That's probably Rebecca. Maybe she's your driver.
Oh, joy.
You know what? If she agrees, then that's fine with me.
Rebecca, give me a drive auto roll.
Actually, first of all, what's your score?
You right?
What's your score in drive auto?
It's 20.
You can give
Mine's
yourself,
25.
Why don't?
Can I support her?
You can. So you can give her a bonus die. But if go ahead and roll, Professor, as you're kind of showing her, this velocipede, the way it works, and you're pointing out all the dials and where the choke is and things like that. Give me a drive auto roll as you attempt to instruct your student in the finer art of driving a vehicle.
I'm bad at teaching.
We are. Boy, this does not bode well. Let's just kill everyone now. So.
Hey, can I push this?
You can. Yeah, go ahead and push it.
Hopefully, I'm just saving my luck for later.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
that's
no!
that's 100. That is the worst possible thing. So
Unbelievable.
so what happens is you.
I saw the 00. I was like,
I was
hey,
excited. I'm like, it's going to come up,
like,
really
no.
low. But no, that's really bad.
We're all cursed.
You decide that this would be a good time to show her the finer points of doing an oil change. You show her where the oil pan is and how to change the oil, and you forget to put the nut back in, or the bolt back into the oil pan. And you begin to drive, around town, showing her, how everything works, and your engine just seizes up. You've just absolutely destroyed your vehicle. It's off on the side of the road, smoke just pouring out of the engine, and you're left just scratching your head, wondering, how could this have happened? Rebecca, you're probably thinking, "Gosh, if this is how driving is, maybe I should just walk." And you
Right.
notice that you're not far from a bus stop, and you perhaps suggest let's hail the bus and let's take the bus to Greyport. This car is in no shape to go anywhere.
Yeah, definitely.
And so the professor, with a little bit of grease on his face, kind of wipes it off on one of his little silk pocket squares, and probably a little bit embarrassed by just how horrible that went. However, I'm a big fan of learning from your mistakes, so I'm going to check your drive auto skill. So that you get a chance to remedy that. I think from your successes, but I also think like your worst mistakes is how we learn best in life. So I just checked that for you. So at the end of the session, you can try and improve that.
Right. I'll call in a favor with one of my friends to come tow it or something.
Yeah, I don't think there was AAA back then. So you've got some friends with the school. There's there's a machine shop in the school, and they've got some students that would love to tear that engine apart as a project and rebuild it for you. But you happen to catch the bus, and this, as you board the bus, Rebecca, you notice that Rory is sitting off in the middle, kind of staring out the window into space. Do you recognize him? Do you say anything to him?
I will approach him if there's like some empty seats near him, and kind of just give a little wave.
Yeah.
Maybe see if he recognizes me too.
So Rory, you see and recognize Rebecca. You have shared trauma together, and it probably does you some good to see a friendly face. As you discuss amongst yourselves, where you're going, you're amazed to find that you're both going to Greyport, along with the professor who has just made a phone call at one of the local public payphones, which for those of you that are younger than 30, back in the day we used to be able to make phone calls from payphones. But, a lot of people nowadays aren't aware of that. So anyway, you get on the bus and you see Rory speaking with Rebecca, and it does your heart some good to see a familiar face. Rory, after all, was the capable and able sailor who essentially rescued the lot of you from the Champagne through his skills navigating and rowing and operating the rowboat as well as the ship as well as he did. You all arrive in Greyport roughly about the same time. Let me pull us to the Greyport map. You should all be able to see the map there. Let me pull your act. Oh, William and Stella are not quite there.
No, I'm at 98%. So,
I
but
will.
it's like stuck
It's
there.
loading there. I'll drag your tokens out here.
It doesn't seem to want to leave 98%. It likes it.
I'll see if I can pull you to the seed.
Oh, 100.
Oh,
100.
there we go. Now I see
Yay.
everyone's in the scene. Excellent. Let's put this here. The way leading into Greyport passes through an old-growth forest of large pines. A sign just outside of town reads, "Welcome to Greyport," in large letters. Smaller letters beneath read, "Population 2,895. The forest soon gives way to small homes, arrayed in a neat row, then side streets, larger homes, and a church. Finally, a town square, with a central courthouse building and businesses lining three sides. On the fourth side is a harbor, with rows and rows of wharves jutting out into a bay. Each wharf is mostly lined with fishing boats, though a few other vessels stand out here and there. From the square, you can see two businesses of note, Holbringer's General Store and Frank's Diner. Now, Stella, as a private investigator, give me an intelligence roll.
Yes. An intelligence roll.
Someone's got to pass a roll
yes,
eventually.
That's something I'm good at.
Should we move our...
Yeah, if you want to move your tokens. Ooh, barely. So you had an 80% chance and you
There we
rolled a
go.
75.
There we go.
So you recall that Marco Torres'
But I made
body... You recall that over here where it says murder site, that's where Marco Torres' body was found, according to the newspaper report, that it was behind the general store. When you arrive, it is kind of 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. There's a few things, like if this was a fantasy role-playing adventure, we'd want to, make sure we can make camp. At some point, you'll want to find a place to stay for the night.
I was actually thinking about that. I figured if there was like a townhome or something, I could rent it for like a month, and we could use it as like a base of operations, if that sounds cool.
Yeah, give me Give me a roll for that. I like this idea. There is a bed and breakfast in town, but there's no reason you can't go to a townhome. Give me give me a credit rating roll with a bonus die.
Oh, I didn't put a bonus die.
Oh, it's okay. You can.
I still passed.
Yeah,
though.
you still passed.
You are a wealthy man.
I am.
Excellent. So you pass, and you do find a home that is available for rent. It's pre-furnished. You made these arrangements before you came into town. You'll need to go to the courthouse, is where the keys and the rental agreement would be, where you would sign that. Would you want to take care of that first?
Yeah. I'm a homely type of person. I like getting my shelter accounted for at the
Yeah.
beginning.
It's going to be supper time soon, and the courthouse is probably only open until 5 or 6, so probably best to go now. Does everyone go with you? Do you all stay together? Or if some of you are hungry, there is a diner, Frank's Diner, you could go to.
I guess I leave them in the square if they're. I just say I'm off to do some business real quick, and I leave them.
Yeah. Where does Stella? Do you go with the professor? Or sorry, not Stella. Rebecca, do you go with the professor?
Sorry,
I mean, if he's taking care of things, I would love to go to the diner.
The diner.
Yeah.
Does anyone else want to go with the professor, or does anyone want to follow Rebecca to the diner? Or is there someplace else you'd like to go?
just a sec. We're not sure we're even there right now. We didn't even roll to drive, so we were going.
Oh!
Yeah, we weren't actually on the bus, and I was like, "Oh wow, I have 20. I'm just glad you didn't make us roll." But
yeah, well,
in the interest of fairness, yes.
That's true. So go ahead and give me a drive auto roll.
Yeah, we're not with the group. Maybe we are. Maybe our car explodes and we're on the bus. We'll find out momentarily. It's most likely.
Yeah, based on how the rolls. Although we've had 2 successes in a row now, so.
Yes.
Oh.
Do you want to push that
Saving
roll?
my luck for later.
It like
Because Stella is like telling you need to go left, like, and you're like,
Yeah, I
stop
think-
telling me what direction to
Yeah,
go.
I immediately got lost, and I refused to ask for directions. Under no circumstances are we stopping to ask for directions.
So then, if you want to push the roll, you can. Otherwise, you're going to arrive like around 7 or 8 o'clock at night after you take a side trek to like Vermont. Like you end up way out in the middle of nowhere before you finally like break down and look at a map and realize you had it upside down, and then north is south, and you head back down. Oh, you got it.
Oh my goodness!
Okay.
I won.
Okay. So
Sometimes you don't gotta ask for directions.
So Stella is trying to tell you that you've missed this turn. You're like, I know a shortcut, and you do know a shortcut. Where's this shortcut take you? Is it like on a paved road, or are you like driving through like fields and farms, or how do you take this shortcut?
That's exactly it. There's a lot of farmland out by Greatport. I think if you just go off the beaten path a little, you skip some of the traffic.
Nice. You see
A lot of little Packards running down the road.
You open up some farmer's fence, and you're just driving through, and cows are stopping to look at you, and you're knocking down corn and everything else on your way to Greyport. But you shave valuable time off of there, and you arrive just ahead of the bus. And so you get there about 15-20 minutes before the bus. And where do you go first before the bus arrives?
Yeah, I feel like the first place you go in town, I feel like we would go probably to either the diner or the bed and breakfast. I feel like we would get our room sorted, or just like, I don't know, like get a meal. But I don't know. I think I'm looking to Stella. I think William's leaving it up to her. We're here. Where do you want to go, honey?
Yeah. I think we should make sure we have a place to stay.
No, I know you had that townhouse idea, but yeah, we're here before you actually. So I think that kind of makes sense. I feel like that's, if I'm going to Newtown, the first place I'd go is sort of room out.
Okay, let me move you over to, if you want to head over to the bed and breakfast. Let me hit that first. Well, actually, Rory, where are you? Do you go to the diner with Rebecca, or do you go to the courthouse with the professor?
Well, I think I'm probably headed over to the harbor. Got to get my employment set up.
Nice. So you could go to like the some of these harbor offices over here.
I'll just go to the dock and have my newspaper ad and tell them I'm looking for a job.
Perfect. Let's go to the bed and breakfast first, and then we will kind of go in order here. So the bed and breakfast. Oh, I've got a lovely picture here. And it looks like the AI did not spell Greyport correct on there. But just assume...
Greyant?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Assume it says Greyport. So, the Greyport bed and breakfast. The 3-story building in front of you is one of the largest homes you've ever seen. Blue wood siding clads the entire building, accented with stark white trim and shutters. The 3rd floor has gable windows, a steep roof, and dormers with carved decorations in each peak. A tall weather vane in the shape of a rooster sits atop a turret at one end of the house. A veranda, scattered with sets of tables and chairs, wraps around the entire structure. You could even see several rocking chairs. The house is surrounded by a well-kept lawn and large, mature trees. A brick-lined gravel path leads from the street to the steps for the porch and the front door. A white picket fence marks the property's borders. There's a signpost mounted to one side of the gate. Hanging from it is a sign proclaiming Greyport, bed and breakfast. Who is first to the door?
Yeah, I suppose that'd be me. Yeah, lovely place here.
Let me send you another picture.
Yeah, this looks lovely.
As you enter the door slides past a small bell up at the top of the door jamb, and a woman appears from somewhere out back, wiping her hands dry on her apron. She looks to be in her early 60s. "Welcome to Greyport, bed and breakfast, dearies. I'm Mrs. Armand. Will you be needing rooms?" Sorry, I can't do an old lady voice with a sore throat.
Fair. Yeah, thank you, ma'am. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm William Harding. This is my wife, Stella.
Did you take your hat off when you went inside?
Oh yeah, I like to think William is like a very chivalrous
I would
guy.
think so too. I would
He's like
assume,
really trying to, yeah.
Yeah, hat came off. You're the kind that if a woman enters the room, you would rise from your seat.
I really respect the elderly as well.
And she just absolutely finds you charming. She leads you to a small table in the foyer. On it are a pen set and a book marked registration, where she takes your details. Do you give her your real name?
Yeah, I don't think my character would see any reason for subterfuge. Williams, yeah.
I wouldn't think so.
I mean, he also immediately introduced himself, so.
Well, she gives you a brief tour before showing you to your rooms. Or room, I should say. I assume you guys got one room. Carved wooden tables and dressers, covered in crocheted doilies, are crammed into every corner of the lower floor, along with plain yet comfortable-looking couches and armchairs. A fire burns in each of the 3 fireplaces in the communal areas. The guest rooms mimic the downstairs, but on a smaller scale. Now, there is a room with a king-size bed, and all the beds are comfortable. She says that she can accommodate several people here. She's got 2 rooms with queen beds, 2 with double beds, and then this room here that she is showing you. She tells you, or you notice that each guest room has a wardrobe, a chest of drawers, a pair of bedside tables, and a small writing desk with 1 chair. This large room also has a cedar chest with extra linens, pillows, and blankets. You can smell the smell of pie baking all through the house, and she lets you know that she will have pie and milk available at 9 p.m. Just come downstairs into the dining room and she'll make it available. And she kind of winks at you like she's excited to have someone staying there and someone to try the apple pie that she's got ready. And then she says, "It's not normally my position to ask, but what brings you to Greyport? Are you traveling here on business or pleasure?"
Oh, it's going to be business for us. Yeah, we're looking into a couple of things. We don't know if we'll be staying here for long, so we're just going to get a room for the night. But Would you be open to if we stay a few nights?
Oh, yes, of course, of course. If you need a meal, I of course provide breakfast, but Frank's Diner will be a fantastic place for your lunch and dining needs. But do come back for the pie tonight at 9. I'll be expecting you.
Oh man, believe me, we'll be there. Your hospitality is unmatched.
Oh, thank you. So business, you say?
Thank you so much, Mrs. Harmon.
Oh, yes, my dear. This business that you're here, are you looking for a job? The only openings I know of are down on the wharf.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. Not quite. We've got our job. That's what brings us here.
Oh, excellent. Well, if there's anything else at all that I can do, and please let me know. I tend not to leave the house much, so I'll be around. And
We'll be sure to call on you.
She gives you both a very gentle smile, does a little curtsy, and then you hear her old bones kind of creaking down the stairs. You hear a popping with every step, and you're not sure if it's the wooden stairs or her knee, but you hear a little popping sound with every step as she walks down. She's definitely feeling it. She's feeling her age. The room is quite comfortable. I'm sure you brought a suitcase with changes of clothes and whatnot. You can spend some time here to kind of get it set up if you like. Is there anything else you want to do specifically in this room or in this bed and breakfast?
Yeah, I think William's a pretty practical guy. I think he's just got one suitcase, so I think he just leans it up against the wall, and then he's looking to Stella, who may or may not take 2 hours just to get her clothes put away.
What? No. I think we should probably grab something to eat. What do you think, honey?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we do have that pie tonight. Don't forget, but she did recommend the diner.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we could grab a dinner before getting dessert tonight.
But that could give us a chance to walk around the town, get a good sight, see what's going on.
And you do remember your purpose here was twofold. One is to investigate, this Marco Torres that you saw that article, and he was slain here in Greyport. He was supposedly one of the members of the archaeological dig, as well as Mickey Spill's father is looking for information on his son. And if Marco was here in town after the sinking of the Champagne, it's likely his son was as well. So perhaps you can look around for leads or information on that.
Yeah. I like to think that's on William's mind a lot. He's definitely trying to he's definitely interested in investigation, but also you don't want to just stroll into a town and just start asking questions.
Right,
so you gotta be civil.
You know that some of these smaller towns, they probably don't take well to outsiders. And that it may make it a little difficult. The only one who's really going to fit in is probably Rory, just because he's more, blue collar, spits tobacco and swears up a storm, would fit right in with, people down at the dock.
I do have a question.
Yes.
Is there a local lawman or sheriff that I might pay my respects to? I feel like that's one of the things you do visit in a new town.
Yep, 100%.
So that's in the back of my mind.
So the courthouse likely has the sheriff's office, and there's probably a single sheriff, perhaps a sheriff and a deputy for something this size, just so they can work in shifts.
Yeah, I think they'd appreciate it if we make our presence known. It's a strange place for newcomers.
Yeah. So as do you head to the diner first or to the courthouse?
Yeah, we're going to the diner first. I think that was the plan, right, Stella?
Let me go to the courthouse with the professor. So, Professor Walters, you find a massive 5-story white stone building in the colonial style with 4 gigantic stone columns lining each side. The main entrance faces the harbor. A large clock tower, capped with a tall steeple, juts upward on the same side of the building. The whole place looks to be hundreds of years old. Steps on all sides lead down to plain but functional basement doors, as well as up to grander carved wooden ones. The walls are full of windows on every level. Those on the 2nd and 4th stories span 2 stories each, so huge windows. A large stone sign says Courthouse, with smaller signs on each side labeling various town and county offices, such as sheriff's office, records office, coroner, mortuary, and harbor master. You know that the records office is where you would go to handle the rental transaction.
Right. I'll head there.
The words records office are painted on the frosted glass of the door. This is on the 3rd floor of the building. A jangling bell announces your arrival. The reception area is neat and tidy and furnished with a desk, several filing cabinets, and a couple of chairs. A large wall clock ticks ominously in the background. A moment later, a thick-set young woman appears from the back office and greets you. "Hi there, my name is Alice. How may I help you today?" she asks cheerily.
Nice to meet you, Alice.
Yes.
I'm looking for some place to stay while I'm in this humble city for at least a month.
We can do a month for sure. Would you like to stay for the winter? I can make you a deal.
What type of deal would this be?
Well, for the month we're looking approximately $75. If you want to stay through the winter, it'd be $250. And that would be about 5 months worth.
I'm not sure if we're gonna need to stay that long. What do you think?
Probably not.
Right. No, a month sounds fine for now, and and I would like to have the opportunity to possibly extend it if the need comes.
Oh yes, of course. Let me see what your daily spending limit is. Is $50. So you would have to deduct this from your cash on hand.
Right.
She takes your information and then she pushes a book towards you. It's kind of a ledger of comings and goings, the homes in the town. Give me an accounting roll. You may not be good at this, but I'm going to let you give me an accounting roll.
Can't do credit rating again?
This is just to see if you spot something on this ledger as you're looking it over.
That was close.
Oh, wow.
Do you want to spend 10 luck?
How lucky are you? That might be important.
I'm not sure.
Could also
this
be
is-
useful, you know.
Yeah, this could be useless information.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth it if it's not for sure.
10 luck is a lot.
Yeah, especially for someone if you can hold on to 30 luck, that will save your life.
Yeah, I'm not gonna push it
Okay.
or do whatever.
It takes you about 30 minutes to do this transaction. She hands you the keys to the small home. It's basically just a small cottage. There's 2 bedrooms, a kitchen, and a dining room. Looking at this book, you know that this book here would have the names and addresses of everyone in town. Like if you needed to find anyone, this is the place. Like this book would have everyone's information. Like basically the county records office.
I'm gonna have a quick peek, look for possible Marco Torres.
Give me a library use roll.
Library use. Nice.
You're kind of looking at the book. Are you trying to be stealthy about this, or do you just like open it up to the T's and look for Torres?
My character is kind of a nonchalant person, so I'm just flipping to it without in like a low-key manner, as if it's expected of me to do so.
Yeah.
You know.
And you did get a hard success. So I'm going to say that you just like any intelligent person looking over a legal document, you're going to flip through and just kind of scan all the pages and just make sure everything's in order. And you happen to just open up the book to the T section. There's no listing for a Marco Torres.
All right.
She gives you the keys, welcomes you to Greyport, tells you that Frank's Diner has the best meal in town, and then she looks at the clock. It's almost 5 o'clock, and she's kind of looking at you and looking at the clock like she's ready to leave.
Well, that'll all I'll need today, madame.
Oh, madame, thank you. And she blushes a little bit at your kind demeanor. I think she's used to people in town being a little rough, and to finally meet someone who's got a little bit of polish, this definitely made her day. Do you head to the diner?
Yeah, sure. Drop off some stuff and then I'll head to the diner.
So you go to the house first, and the house, it's very nice. It's very clean. It's nice. It's small, but it will suit your needs just fine.
Could I say it's like over here?
Let me
What am I trying to...
go ahead and ping that again. Hold down the left button. It should ping it. Yeah, that can be your home right there. I like that. This is a great spot because it's close to the library, which you know would be a good resource for you. It's also relatively close to where you recall from the article where Marco Torres was murdered, and you know that it'd be easy just to cross the street and go check out that murder site. Let's go to the wharves really quick, and then everyone will meet up at the diner. So Rory, beyond the courthouse is a small natural bay protected by massive piled stone embankments. Several wharves run out from the shore, all bustling with activity. This place is clearly Greyport's lifeblood. Atop the rise on the bay's western side sits a large industrial building painted with the words Greyport Cannery in old and peeling letters. Most of the boats along the docks are commercial fishing vessels, feeding the cannery, with a few pleasure boats mixed in for good measure on the outer fringes, including a couple of yachts and houseboats. Gulls and crows line the wharves, swooping in to grab detritus from the water before flying off to consume their meal. The sound and smell of the sea is overwhelming here at the port's edge, or perhaps that smell is just the cannery. What do you do here at the wharf?
Well, I'm going to see if I can't find perhaps a harbor master or somebody looking for a first mate.
You find someone. Let me get the picture here. Where is he?
Or perhaps the newspaper ad listed someone specific that had a job opening.
You find an African American man, and he is working hard on the docks. He's near a fishing vessel called the Sea's Gifts, and he is out here just coiling rope. And he looks at you and kind of looks you up and down. You looking for work?
Ah, well, that I am. I'm experienced fisherman and looking for something to pay the bills.
He grabs a small length of rope and tosses it at you and says, "Tie me a sheep shank."
And I will with expert years of sailing.
I'm going to have you give me a roll to see if you can tie a sheep shank knot. Let's do a dexterity roll with a bonus die because you are a fisherman. Didn't even need the bonus die.
It's been a few years since I had to pass basic seamanship. But
Fling it back at him, and it kind of hits him in the head, and he peels it off. Doesn't even look at it and says, "Give me your hands." You hold out your hands, and he looks at him. "You got working hands. You've been on a boat all your life, haven't you?"
That I have.
"We got room for you here aboard the Sea's Gifts. I'll talk to the harbor master. He's probably already drinking, so best talk to him when he's sober. Come back here in the morning. We'll find good work for you."
Ah, well, much obliged.
And he kind of points you in the direction of the diner and goes back to coiling his rope, whistling a bawdy sea shanty all the while. So it looks like you've got potentially work lined up. Maybe just meet the harbor master and you could get employment here. But for the time being, I'm going to move you over to the diner. Let's go to the diner. Across from the courthouse, on the other side of the main square from the general store, is an unassuming building, part of a block of similar properties housing local businesses. Painted on its glass windows are the words Frank's Diner, with open 24 hours in smaller letters underneath. The smell of baked goods, grease, and coffee hits you as you step through the door. Inside is a typical diner. Clean wooden tables and chairs fill its center, while booths line the walls. A long counter separates the dining area from the service areas and kitchen, which is visible through a large opening in the wall behind the counter. A smattering of patrons are seated throughout the establishment. Most look up as you enter. A kindly-looking black waitress in her mid-30s calls to you from behind the bar. "Have a seat wherever you like, and I'll be right with you." And I've got a picture of her. Let me send this to you. As she says this, a larger man with a greasy apron and a small paper hat kind of pokes his head up across the diner. Or across the counter, looks at you for a moment through the serving hatch, and then goes back to whatever it was he was doing. You hear the sizzling of meat on a hot griddle back there. There's a few seats available. There are some tables in the center or booths along the wall. Where do you all sit?
I think maybe like along the wall, away from any like listening ears or something like that.
Maybe have a little privacy?
Yeah.
Rebecca, give me one of your social skill rolls. That's either charm or persuade or intimidate or fast talk. As the waitress comes up and kind of starts asking about, "Oh, you're not from here. I've never seen you in town before. What are you doing in Greyport?" I'll let you give me any sort of roll here. Oh, you passed your persuade check. How did your conversation with her go?
I'm just stopping by with my professor. We're on a school related trip to study something about the sea. This is a seaside town.
Oh, you came to the right place. We've got the
Yes.
sea just over here to the east. You can't miss it. Just walk out to the dock and keep going.
I knew this would be a good place.
Yeah, well, if you want something from the sea, can I suggest the chowder? It's quite good.
Sounds delicious. I'll have one.
"Hey, Big Tom, a chowder for the lady." And the big guy with the greasy hat kind of looks through the little serving window and nods his head, "Aye, aye." And you can hear him scooping thick chowder into a bowl. What about Stella and William? You guys meet up here at the diner at approximately the same time, and you see Rebecca, this person from the SS Champagne here.
Yeah, so about that, Clara had to go. I don't know if she'll be back. She left the
shoot.
game, so
Oh, shoot.
I don't know. But yeah, I don't know how you want to handle that.
Well, let's. I'll kind of run for her a little bit.
All right.
If that's okay. Do you know,
Yeah,
is
that
she going to
works.
be able to make it back tonight?
I don't know. She hasn't said anything.
Okay. We'll probably be taking a break here in just a little bit, but we'll play through a little bit of this here. In fact, I've got access to her character sheet, so I can make make Stella's rolls.
All right. So yeah, I think we got in the diner, and I think I don't know. I guess could I do like a spot hidden? I don't know if this is just to see if I even like notice Rebecca, or maybe this is related to when we're settling in. But like, I think I want to like get like a spot in a corner, probably like back to the wall, kind of just a good view of the place.
Okay.
That's kind of my goal. Although seeing Rebecca would probably throw that whole plan out the window, because I'd be pretty excited. I think William quite liked Rebecca. She did a great job on the ship, Pain. And what are the odds of meeting her here?
Right.
Oh, should I head over? I mean, I guess I'm in the process of heading over. Does
Yeah.
that sound fine?
Yep. So you would head over there at the same time. When you get in there, by then, Rebecca's probably nearly done with her first bowl of chowder. But as a young college student, she can probably put it away and would, be on her second bowl right about now.
Definitely.
And you see William and Stella here as well. And kind of unexpectedly that you would bump into these people, and you immediately wonder if it's not related to Marco Torres's murder. The waitress comes up to your table. I assume you would sit with Rebecca. Waitress comes up and, oh, we got more strangers in town. My goodness, we got a lot of people here that we ain't never seen before. You ain't from the news, are you?
No, I can see why you think that. It makes sense. I'm sure a small town like this doesn't see too many people. But in fact, we're all here together. We know each other. And I think William's going to try to, shake Rebecca's hand. He's pretty excited.
Yeah.
What are the odds?
Right.
I mean, maybe he's trying to pretend like we came to town together. That feels like I don't want the newcomers to be suspicious.
You can give me
towns.
You can give me a roll for that. That could be like a persuade or a charm, or even a disguise if you are trying to, whatever you think you might have more success with. Oh, hey, there you go. Persuade worked. Mary's like, oh, well, the more the merrier. The lady was having the chowder. Do you want some of that, or can I get you something else?
Oh, we'd be delighted.
What about Rory? You walk in and you see, you knew that Rebecca was here, but now you see William and Stella.
Pleasure to see more friendly faces.
And you smell the aroma of steak in here, and you've been on a fishing boat all your life. Fish and chowder, it's great, but every now and then you just want something with 4 legs, and you can smell a steak cooking. You can help your indulge that hunger and order up a delicious steak, and you notice Big Tom looking at you, and steak for the big guy, and you hear the slap of meat on the griddle sizzling away, and you recall the sounds of almost that bubbling sort of strange, curious sound from that beast from Agron. It was like a burbling, bubbling, strange sound, and that sizzling of the meat begins to recall that moment. And you smell the burning flesh, and you're reminded of all of the meat that was on the deck of that ship, sloshing around in the rain. I'm going to have you give me a sanity roll.
It doesn't bother me. I was beats a hardtack and gruel what I was gonna have.
Ooh. You have a little bit of a terrible flashback here. You're going to lose 1 point of sanity, please. And then as the burbling sound ends, Big Tom rings a bell, and Mary brings over this steak to you. And you look at it, and it looks delicious, but do you eat it?
I think so. I'm used to eating pretty bland foods, and
Oh, this isn't bland. This would be quite flavorful.
I'm ready for a nice meal.
Every bite, you just think about the pieces of meat on that deck, and all those people that have been steamed as the boiler exploded and then sent down to the bottom of the sea. On that lovely note, William, do you order something? Do you strike up a conversation with Mary or Big Tom?
Yeah, I think I would. I'd wait for Stella to order, but I think I'd probably start asking questions to Mary. Was it?
Yeah. So Stella is ordering. Something. She doesn't want a big heavy steak. She doesn't want chowder. She probably gets something, like a burger, something that the diner would be well known for. What questions do you have for Mary?
Yeah, I guess I'm not just gonna I've got tact. I'm not gonna immediately ask about the murder or anything. I guess I just ask her like innocent questions. I don't know. So, how's it been in town lately? Seems like a great place. The bed and breakfast. Oh, what a wonderful lady, Miss Armand. Oh,
Oh, she's a gem. She's just a sweetheart. She's a gossip, though. Boy, you spend 10 minutes with her, everyone in town's gonna know your business.
oh yeah. She did ask a couple questions, and we hardly talked to her.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm surprised we ain't heard of you before you walked in. She's a sweetheart and all, but don't go telling her none of your deepest and darkest, 'cause it'll be all over town. Huh, Big Tom? And Tom, yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's real great advice, darling. Thank you, thank you.
You kind of look like police. Are you police?
Yeah, yeah. I'm police. My friends, they're with me, but no. These are guys aren't law enforcement. I'm actually just gonna go meet your local lawman. I was gonna ask, you got a name?
Do I have a name? I'm Mary, of course. Oh, you mean the lawman? Oh, sorry. Yeah, you want to see the sheriff, Ethan Barrett. He's got a deputy, Jerry Osland. He's probably there now, but Ethan, he's the man in charge of this town. You hear about that murder, ain't you? That Torres kid?
Ah, you're a sharp girl.
Oh, it's a damn shame. That's all anyone talks about here in the diner. Big Tom's sick of it. People used to talk about good things and happy times. Now all they do is talk about this murder, and ain't nobody eating. And she looks over at Rory, who's just kind of wolfing down this steak. Well, at least some of you got an appetite. You found out who done it?
I'm afraid we just got here. I got more questions than answers right now.
Well, give me a question. Maybe I got an answer for you.
Ooh, I don't know, miss. Well, it's a pretty specific circumstance. I mean, what do you know about it? This murder. It seems like it was a stabbing death.
Oh
Very
yeah,
personal.
that's what they say. They say he was stabbed, but it wasn't no regular knife, not like a fishing knife or a chef's knife. There's something with blades on both sides, kind of a wide knife. Big Tom ain't got no idea what kind of knife it might be. Ain't no hunting knife, no fishing knife, no nothing. You ask me, you might find some more information. You go check out the old morgue, but then you're looking at them dead bodies, and that ain't for me. But if you want to go, I'm sure the sheriff will get you in there.
Yeah. I think I'm hoping he'd appreciate the help. I understand what it's like. Us, people from the big city coming into town asking questions. It's probably pretty annoying.
You want to be careful though. Let me just warn you. Some of the boys in town, they're pretty sure it was an outsider what done it, what killed that boy. And out here we got a thing called private justice, and we look after our own. So private justice that'll probably be done here. Your work will be done for you, sir. You needn't worry about that. We'll take care of whoever done it.
Well, I suppose our interests align. I'm not here to seek a verdict. I understand you people's got a code, especially in a small town like this, but I need to know who did it. So our interests align, as far as I'm concerned. What happens after that?
Oh yeah, they say that Torres boy, he was on that ship that wrecked out at sea a couple of weeks back, the Champagne. But crazy thing that kid, people saying he died out there when he'd been in town a couple times getting meals here at the diner. Him and them other people.
Yeah, that was in the paper back in Boston. Real strange, isn't it? That's definitely what drew my eye.
Oh yeah. In fact, there's
I think at this point. Oh, sorry. Go on.
She's gonna say the one guy with him kind of looked like your friend over there, and she points at the professor.
Oh yeah. This is a smart man.
Oh yeah, book smart,
Yeah. It definitely sounds like my friend there.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, thank you. I think at this point, what I was going to say is, I've been asking a lot of questions, and also she's asking a lot of questions, and I don't know what
Yeah, you find
Uh,
she's actually kind of nosy. In fact,
yeah.
she's
And
talking
always,
about the
it's
lady
always the
being the
people who
biggest
keep.
gossip, but she might be a
Yeah,
bigger gossip.
every time it's always the cheater accuses you of cheating, uh, but but also smart girl, So I can respect that. I'm not like upset, but I think I'm gonna like politely like order. I don't know what's the most expensive meal here. Could I get like a steak? Wasn't that something?
Oh yeah, the porterhouse.
Yes,
Hey, Big
it
Tom,
sounds great.
one more of them steaks for the policeman here. And she says that kind of loud, and you see a bunch of eyes turn and look at you in the diner, and they go back to their
Yeah.
meal and kind of whisper amongst themselves.
That was hard to admit, but it felt like I mean, I've got a gun. I'm not
Oh, yeah.
like a subtle guy.
Oh, yeah.
So I might as well profess. I wasn't going to try to sneak.
No, if you're gonna go talk to the sheriff, I mean, word's gonna get around pretty fast in this small town.
Yeah, and I think it's going to just damage my reputation immediately to be rude and lying and stuff.
Oh,
so yeah,
absolutely.
That was a great moment, though.
Yeah, you get the feeling that she and she kind of lets you know that the people in this town don't take kindly to strangers. And so it's almost like she was not just feeling you out, but kind of testing you in front of the town, and like other people were watching. Like, they're all curious to know what you're doing here, but they know it's the waitress, that Mary's the one she's gonna dig and find out. And once people know
You did a good job.
that you're you're law, then that maybe makes them feel maybe a little better in some ways and maybe a little less better in other ways. It sounds like she says the boys down at the wharf want to take care of this.
Yeah,
and the
some
rest of the
people
town
will be
seems
happy
okay
about
with
it,
that.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
Professor, you make it back to the diner after checking out the house, and do you have any questions for Mary or for Big Tom while you're here?
Oh, Hassan said he was AFK just now in the chat.
Oh, okay. I should probably open up the chat so I can find out. If we need to, we could take a break here if that's good for everybody.
Yeah, well, Hassan's AFK. I feel like probably a pretty good time for it. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take maybe a 10-minute break or so. So I'll go ahead and get us on a break.
Hello, sorry, did I miss something?
Oh, we're just going on break.
Yeah, we're just about to do like a 10-minute break.
Yeah, sorry, some food started burning in my kitchen.
Oh, it was Big Tom. He's overcooking that steak. So, yeah. So, do you want to go ahead and take a break here?
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah, let's take about a 8-10 minute break.
good. All right.
Alrighty.
With two-handed sword, I'm headed to the mountains to rescue the princess from the evil goblin. I ignore all the signs of impending danger because I'm a fighter and not some crappy ranger. 47 hit points and a high dexterity, 17 for strength. Kobolds are afraid of me, crafted from numbers on living paper. I skip from the mundane to a medieval caper. And while in real life my fate is unspoken, I locate the lair, but it doesn't make much sense to me. I think that the DM might be out to get me. A hero in armor and truth, bards tell my legacy. The flame of my torch illuminates the enemy. I win in a battle, hewing foes asunder. The deeper I venture, the deeper I wonder. The bodies pile up before me, the corpses I plunder. The deeper I venture, the deeper I wonder. Crafted from numbers on living paper. I skip from the mundane to immutable paper. And while in real life, my fate is unspoken. Hero roll of the dice and my fate is unspoken. I drink my last potion. I charge through the open gate. The flame of the dragon, try to seal my awful fate. With a handful of dice, 5 times I roll 20. The dragon goes down, the DM no bloody. I leave with the princess, a satchel chock full of gold. We head to the tavern, where my mighty tale unfolds. Crafted from numbers on living paper. I skip from the mundane to immutable paper. While in real life, my fate is unspoken. Hero roll of the dice and my fate is unspoken. The king he honored me with the mighty crossbow. It's blessed by the elves, he said. I thank him and I go. The life of a hero, struggling to stay alive. It's worth all the hardship though, 'cause now I'm a level 5. Level 5.
Okay, I am back. Is anybody else here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm back.
And we'll just give the others a couple minutes here. I did hear from Stella. It sounds like she will not be returning for the night, so she's asked me to keep her character alive, so I'll do my best.
Good you didn't make any promises.
Right.
This is Cthulhu.
It is. Luke, I may have you kind of choose kind of what she does, and I'll take care of the dice rolls. So if you want to...
All right. Yeah.
She'll be an extension of you, and then that way I don't take all the blame if she goes insane or, goes down in a hail of gunfire or something. So,
Stella, hold the door open.
Right? Who goes into that dark tunnel? Stella. Sweet. Who tries that pie first? Stella.
I'm back.
All right. Henrik is
Welcome.
back. Do we have Hassan back?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. I think we're all here. Let me make sure I am good to go. All right. Let's get back to it. So, you're at the diner. You're all enjoying a meal, kind of talking about what's happening. Everyone's kind of giving you the eye a little bit. And you start to get the feeling that this town is... maybe the people are a little bit less than pleased to see you. Where to now?
Well, maybe we'd want to check out that murder scene, maybe.
Yeah, well, there's still a little bit of light left.
Right. I feel like that might be a bad idea to just go rifling around on a murder scene and local law enforcement without discussing it with them.
Yeah, maybe talk
So maybe
to the
I
local law
go.
first.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because it's hard for me to say like I'll go and while you do it because I don't want to walk and be like, oh hey, we're investigating your investigation, buddy.
Well, it's a public field.
That's true.
It may
That's
be
true.
marked.
I don't have
as-
to tell them. They don't have to know.
Right.
But word gets around quick in small towns.
It
I
does.
think before William heads out, Rory's just curious, and he's gonna just mention, while he's sitting at the diner eating. So, did you hear anything about that Professor Sebastian?
Who are you saying that to?
To William. I saw that he was doing most of the investigating, and that was kind of what Rory was curious about.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to think about what to say in a public diner. So I guess I'm probably sitting next to him. So
Yeah.
I'm not expecting super eavesdroppy. So yeah. William's just gonna look at him and say, yeah. Well, that's why we're here. I'm sure you might have read in the papers that Moida. I don't know why I went so fucking
Moida?
mobster there. Moida.
Right.
I don't know why that happened. I'm so sorry.
That was awesome.
That's Jesus.
Let me do a roll here.
Yeah, that feels fair.
You guys probably can't see the result of that roll, can you?
No, it's
No,
just
that is
question
hidden.
marks.
So it's called a blind roll. So I saw what that was. Mary's got really good hearing, and you notice that she's kind of bussing a table near yours at the first notice of Professor Sebastian. And as she's bussing this table, she kind of looks over and says, I know the professor. He pops in here for coffee sometimes. He comes up here from Arkham to go fishing with his buddy Lucas.
Wow. Yeah, I feel like that stuns me, and I feel bad, but I'm now suddenly ignoring Rory just for a second. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I know you asked me a question, but you do know a lot, young lady. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have some questions for you, aren't I? You know the Professor Sebastian?
Oh, yeah. He comes in here all the time. He used to hire a boat from his buddy, Lucas Barnes. They'd go out fishing all the time.
Right. When's the last time you seen him?
Oh, boy, I don't know if I remember. And she sets your guys' check down at the table. And give me a psychology roll. William.
Ooh. Okay. Oh,
Oh, wow.
that's really not my thing. So I'm so glad
But you
about that.
nailed it. Well, you know that she is angling for a tip. She just said that she's basically withholding information, sets down the check. You think
Right.
she for a price, she'll probably give up some information.
Right, and also like she was pretty helpful warning me about the attitude of the local town.
Yeah.
She's like she might be a gossip, and I'm really worried about that. But she's been very helpful.
Oh
so
yeah. Oh yeah.
I would like to leave a pretty generous tip.
Yeah. If you want, you can make a credit rating roll. See if it's enough to get her to talk.
Maybe I did put some points into it. Ah,
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay. So that's a critical. So she had an amount in mind, and you have doubled that with your tip. And it'll come out of your daily spending, so you don't need to adjust your finances at all.
I think Rory, seeing William pull out this big wad of cash, he's just gonna pat him on the back and say, "Oh, you got this one. I'm gonna head out."
Nice.
oh, duh. I understand, friend. You probably
You're
probably
just
had
gonna
a
go
hard time since
stand
champagne
out front
hit.
and smoke while you're waiting for him to pay the tab.
Yeah.
Nice. She says, "Well, Barnes, he was a local fisherman. He retired a few years ago. He lives just outside of town. He comes in every now and then, but I ain't seen him in about a month. But him and the professor, they're pretty close. Mr. Holbringer at the general store, he would know. People that don't live in the city center, they have deliveries made, and I'm sure that Lucas has goods delivered to his house. He can probably give you the address too."
Well, that sounds brilliant. Are you really just a waitress, honey? You're practically a investigator yourself.
I read a lot of them pulp magazines, and
Oh.
yeah, about all them gumshoes, and I kind of fancy myself a lady private eye, kind of like the lovely your lovely wife here. And she winks at Stella. And then big.
Well, I also sorry,
Oh,
I was just saying. I also hope that our friends are listening because we've got a lot of leads. I'm paying attention. I've wrote stuff down, but like
Excellent.
we'll be splitting up soon. I think.
Yeah.
She's given us a lot of information there.
So basically, you know that that Professor Sebastian has been seen in town. He's been here before, and he's got a friend named Lucas Barnes, and they go fishing together. But no one has seen Barnes or Sebastian in a while. And so maybe that's a local lead would be Lucas Barnes to see, if you can talk to Lucas, he would probably know more about Professor Sebastian.
Right. Yeah. I've got a pretty solid idea what I'm doing next.
Yeah.
That was super helpful.
As far as Marco Torres, she's not much help with that. She just kind of lets you know that it's probably an outsider, that nobody in town would be doing that, and that the local boys will take care of it. She's pretty insistent on that fact. But you know that you should at least talk to the sheriff in town.
Yeah, that was my next step. Still, I'm really not trying to step on anybody's toes. As like a pretty good lawman, I kind of know that.
Yeah, you know that would be the protocol. You would want to go talk to the local sheriff, and you don't want to duplicate work. He might be able to provide you with information that you need, and you may be able to help him in his investigation as well. It's doubtful that he has even spoken with Marco or Mickey Spill is the other person you're looking for, that he is. Knows anything about Mickey Spill, but Mickey Spill was on the boat too, along with Marco Torres and Professor Sebastian, and you've been hired by Mickey Spill's dad to try and find him, and so maybe you find some information from the sheriff about that, or for sure if you talk to Lucas Barnes, he may know.
Yeah,
Mickey
he's
Spill
the
as
big
well.
lead right now, and that's probably what I will focus on next.
Yeah.
But yeah, the sheriff's of course my priority.
But
I don't know what the professor and Rebecca want to do.
So if the professor and Rebecca, I'm sure, overheard this conversation, the professor knows where he could go to get addresses if he needed to. The office is closed, but it's never stopped anyone with lockpicks and a sense of entitlement. You could also go talk to Mr. Holbringer at the general store, or I think Rebecca wanted to go and investigate that field. So you got a bunch of leads. Where to next? It is getting dark outside.
Yeah, sorry, I was asking, what time is it right now?
Right now, it's probably about 6 o'clock in the evening, so it would be supper time. A lot of regulars are coming in to have their supper. Um, Outside, it's just starting to get dark. In about another, 30, 45 minutes, it'll be dark enough you probably need a flashlight. There are some oil lamps on the streets, and they'll be lit. But if you're going to go check out that field much later than this, you'd need a flashlight, which will probably draw attention to yourselves if you're out there trying to be sneaky.
Yeah, I would probably rather do it in like broad daylight so I don't look super suspicious or anything.
Sounds fine with me. If as long as it's just investigating it as a public person instead of breaking into something, I feel like the professor might have some qualms about that.
Right. Yeah. He knows he could get that information from that book, but why break in? Just go in the morning and just talk to the lady, and she seemed to be kind of smitten with you in a sense, and so she'll probably let you have access to that book. You could also talk to the guy at the general store. Maybe even the old lady at the bed and breakfast. She probably knows everybody in town. If it's something, it says if Professor Sebastian would go fishing with Lucas Barnes, maybe people at the wharf know. The harbor master or some of the dock workers probably know what boat they go out on.
And the Hullbringer at the general store would deliver goods to Barnes.
So most likely. So he would probably have the address. Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to go to the murder site, so probably the store is in the middle, so we could stop by there.
Yeah,
maybe to buy something.
So you could walk like past the murder site on the way back to the home that you've rented.
Yeah.
So so to the general store first, and then the murder site.
Yes.
Does that sound okay with everybody?
Yeah.
Yes.
Tucked in between several other businesses on one side of Greyport's main square is a long building whose rooftop sign declares in big block letters, Hullbringer's General Store. The front of the building consists of a covered porch set with bins of fruits and vegetables, as well as numerous crates, barrels, and large sacks. Large windows flank a set of heavy oak doors. A sign in one of the windows reads Open. The store's interior is cramped, with row upon row of well-stocked shelves reaching up to shoulder height. Running along the left side of the building, a large, equally well-stocked glass case acts as the counter, on which sits a cash register. More goods are on display on the back wall, including several rifles and shotguns, as well as cigarettes and fine porcelain, even a few antique vases. A set of doors leads into a stockroom in the back, marked with an employees only sign at eye level. Behind the counter, a middle-aged white man wearing a well-worn apron looks up from a book he is reading. He removes his spectacles, tucks them into a pocket, and then folds over the corner of the page to mark his place before setting the book aside. He stands up from the stool he was perched on, narrows his eyes at you, then clears his throat. Can I help you? And I have a picture. You need goods? You here in town? How long's you stay?
Currently just here for a month, looking to pick up some odds and ends to make my stay at my townhouse comfortable.
Oh. Let me give you the rundown here, and I'm going to actually send a shopping list to the chat. They're going to let me do it. Oh, hang on. It's not going to let me do it. Oh man, I did this earlier and it worked. Oh, you know what? I think I know why. I think I got to do it this way. Sorry, give me 1 second. There we go. So now in the chat there's a nice little shopping list of what he has on offer.
Ooh, that's a lot of stuff.
So as you can see, we carry everything that you might need. You just let me know what you want, and I'm your man.
All right. Well, sounds good to me, my good sir.
Yeah.
Quick question: do I still have that gun? I think I do.
Yeah, you do. You wouldn't have given it up. You probably carry it with you just because of the trauma that you endured on the Champagne. You still, I think, only have, what, 2 bullets left?
Yeah, I'll buy some. I have 3 bullets. It's a 32, so I don't think he offers that though.
Give me a luck roll to see if he's got it.
Oh no, he
himself.
does. My bad.
Does he have
I
32
missed.
revolver, yeah.
Okay, let's see. So $18.
And your daily spending limit's 50, so that wouldn't even affect your spending limit. Let me adjust your revolver here. So we're gonna fill up your revolver. Oh, that way. So you've got 6 in the chamber now.
And I guess I want like an extra thing, so
Yeah, let me add some ammo to your inventory here. So it'll come 20 in a box. You just put 4 more in your gun, so you got 16 rounds left, and that should put that on your character. Yep, 16 times 32 ammo. Perfect. Anything else anyone would like to buy?
Just a question. Did he make money from when he was the first mate of the Foggy Sea, and he took that charter as the first mate? Did he make any money from that?
The money would have gone to the captain. She would have dispersed it at the end, but that money went down with the ship. So you just have what's on your character sheet. You did not get paid for that.
Was I able to collect from the harbor master when I got back?
Give me either a luck or a credit rating roll.
Luck's gonna be better.
Oh, I think you got it. Yeah, so you were able to collect. He probably gave you some hazard pay and would have given you $50. So you can put $50 in your
Well,
monies.
that more than doubles my cash. So.
Nice. You can supersize now.
I can actually add money to my sheet.
I should be able to do it for you. Let me take care of that. You might just have to unlock it. If I unlock it, can I go to cash?
I guess I should mention that I unlocked my money things and then it cleared them all out.
Oh yeah, that
So I
just
don't.
that just happened here as well. Oh, and
I
then
don't think I was.
if you then click on the little gray gears, it puts it back.
Oh, yeah.
So
There we
I wonder
go.
if cash, if I can put 90. Let's see if that puts it back. Oh, nope. So I guess what we can do, so you could just have it on the manual and just kind of transfer your values over.
Right. How much was my townhouse again?
$75.
Okay, so 75, and then I spent 18 here.
I can just remember not to take any money off until I've gone through that 50.
Well, I can put it on here, and your assets are 1,000. There, and then we'll just leave it on manual rather than automatic. And now that should track your, yeah, perfect.
Mm.
Now
Still
the
can't edit.
18 that you would spend, so I was able to edit Rory's, so so I had to unlock it. I can do it on yours if I need to as well.
No, I mean I can edit the spend thing, but not my cash and spending level. I don't know.
So are
if
you
I'm
on
supposed
the manual credit values, or does it say So, like, if it has the green gears, that's the automatic calculation. If I click on that, it'll say manual credit values. Then I can put in whatever amounts I want, and then just leave it on that, and then
Okay, I think I got
just
it.
lock the
Yeah.
character sheet.
That's fine. I got it. Okay.
Perfect. Excellent. So yeah, you do have money, Rory, to spend. Holdbringer asks. He looks at William. You hear about the murder? We don't get too many travelers coming in that have your countenance.
Right. I like to think, because this guy's he's got a pretty good shop here. I like to think I've got like my gun. I think it's in a holster, and I think my holster's got the little badge pin like on it. So I think I would like show him my gun and then like take it out and like ask him about buying ammunition. But at the same time, like kind of showing him I am with the law and answer his question. Like I'm looking into this murder. I was also going to see about picking up some ammunition.
Give me a law roll. If you want, you can charge this ammunition to the city police. And he asked you, you putting this on the account?
Ooh, yeah, I will. I mean, perks of the job.
Right.
I am legitimately here as a law officer, and I've publicly, said it to the whole town, basically.
Yeah, so this won't cost you anything.
Lovely.
He does have you sign the book. Do you sign it with your real name?
Yeah.
Perfect. He says, you're not the first outsiders to come into town recently. A group of 3 young men came in about a week ago. They bought an assortment of things. Food, ropes, a few candles, some kerosene, some wood. They weren't locals.
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, they all spoke with some sort of weird, kind of fruity accent.
Right. That's quite interesting. Do you, it was 3 of them?
3 of them, yeah. Top of the morning, they said. Whatever that means.
Top of the morning, yeah. Some of them fancy leprechaun guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what ages they might have been? 3 of these guys.
They were young men, probably the age of this young lady here, and points at Rebecca, and maybe one about your age. They were younger folk, though. Nobody as old as me, It was, 20s.
Yeah, that's actually very helpful, Holbinger. Thank you.
Yeah. They said they were repairing the boat, but it's weird. There was no outside boats docked at the wharves, so I don't know how that could be. I figured they was lying to me. Figured, seeing as how you're the law and all, you ought to know about this.
Yeah, no, this is actually extremely useful. I might have another question for you.
Yeah.
So, you, in relation to this investigation, we're looking for a man named, Barnes, Lucas Barnes.
Oh, yeah, I know Barnes. He used to run charters in his boat, the Southern Winds. He retired some time ago. His boat ain't been moored in the harbor for years. He lives up the coast between Greyport and Gloucester.
Yeah, I figured you'd be the guy to know.
Excuse me. Yeah, I made deliveries there recently. And he opens up a book and kind of flips through. Give me a library use roll, William. Holy cow. Well, you're on fire right now.
Yeah, that's for the bad start.
So you see that someone else has asked for deliveries to Barnes' address recently, and you see a name, and it's Mickey Spill. So Mickey Spill ordered a delivery of groceries and supplies. You also see that Mickey Spill placed this order the day after the Marco Torres was murdered.
Hey, after. Can I see what the supplies were?
Yeah. And you look at it, it looks like some fruit, some vegetables, some rope, a bunch of candles, a few odds and ends, kerosene, some heavy chain.
Interesting. That's quite the shopping list there.
Yeah,
That was a little strange.
Having some sort of party or something.
Yeah, have to be, especially because they ain't Mr. Barnes. And from what I heard down at the diner, we haven't heard from him in a while.
You know, this kid that signed for him, he claimed to be visiting his Uncle Lucas, but I don't remember Barnes having any family.
No, yeah, that is strange. But, you've been very helpful. We definitely got a question from him. Do you know, I don't want to just show up at his house. You know where I might find him? If he's anywhere, I guess I'm asking where he would go fishing, because it's not like he'd come into town.
I don't think he fishes anymore. That old man, he's drunk all day long.
Right.
I give you his address right here, and he writes it down on a piece of paper, gives you the street address and everything, and slides it over to you.
Helpful.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Harper.
Yeah, whatever I can do to help the law here, you know. Some of the locals here, they, you know, vigilanteism is the name of the game, but I run a business, and that ain't good for business. We don't get no people coming into town if they're afraid to come in because of the locals. So watch the boys on the docks.
That's some great advice. I appreciate it. And I think I've got what I wanted here, so that's it for me. I'm stepping back a little.
Anyone else want anything?
Rory, having been hearing these strange noises the past few days, he's getting a little on edge, and he's going to purchase just a handgun.
Yeah.
He's not a great shot, but if nothing else, he'll have the last bullet for himself.
Exactly. Save the last bullet for yourself. What kind of gun do you want to buy? I'll move it to your character sheet.
What's the cheapest handgun?
Let me see. So you have like a 32 would probably have the best punch.
That's cheapest, so I'll take that one.
You want a 32?
Yeah.
Same as the professor. Drag that over.
Again,
to your
Rory doesn't know much about guns. He just has been a little bit on edge since he's been hearing these strange noises when he's trying to, or after this whole experience.
There you go, and let me give you a little bit of ammo with that. I'll give you a reload on that. Okay. Perfect. Do you guys head back to the house by way of the murder site?
Yes.
I would like to, yeah.
Can we split up? Because I think our goals do align a little, or split a little here.
Yeah. So who wants
Also,
to go where?
A little bit more complicated, but I feel like Stella would go with the rest of them. I think she wants to, she's pretty curious about the murder site. That's kind of her thing.
I think investigating that murder site, that would be one of the first things on her list. So I would agree with that. So I'm going to move her over to the murder site. What about William? Where are you going to go?
Yeah, I kind of want to make that visit to the lawman or the deputy, because if the sheriff's
somebody
not in town.
will be there.
Yeah.
Rebecca and Rory and the professor, where do you go? Are you going to check out the murder site?
Yeah, I'm going to the murder site.
Okay. What about Rory and the professor? Same as well?
Well, I think
Calling Rebecca.
Rory has become kind of attached to the professor and Rebecca, so he's going to make sure that these two stay out of trouble.
Perfect. Yeah, you know that you're probably the muscle now if William is not there. Not that the professor couldn't handle himself in a scrape. Stella could. In fact, she's probably the muscle. But you're probably the... People might mistake you for a local and maybe leave you alone because everyone else looks like an outsider. You look like you belong there. Let's go do that murder site first.
This feels like cheating because I can play in both at once.
I know, right? The narrow alleyway brings you to an open space. Locals may refer to it as a field, but it's little more than an open patch of waste ground, hemmed in by the surrounding buildings on 3 sides and woodland on the 4th. You can see the backyards behind the general store and its neighboring buildings, the row of tall trees that screens the rear of the public library, and the topmost floor of the Greyport bed and breakfast. You also notice a series of well-worn tracks crisscrossing the field. I'm going to have Stella make a spot hidden roll. She is looking for evidence and clues here. Let me roll that for Stella. Oh yeah, she got it. Got a hard success. So Stella knows to look around the well-worn tracks. It's probably a footpath, but being careful not to step on any evidence, she kind of puts everybody in a skirmish line and let's just take a quick walk through the field, she says. She knows that this field is quite central and used by Greyport's inhabitants as a shortcut to and from the main square and the wharves. She knows that if the murder took place at night or during one of the fogs that regularly hits the coast, it's no wonder there were no witnesses. This is pretty secluded and dark. Because of her hard success, she is actually able to identify where Torres' body was found. She sees some small flags placed in the ground by the local law enforcement to mark where the body was found. And she doesn't find much. There's numerous footprints in the area, which is not surprising, but she notices a discarded yellow Sweet Afton cigarettes packet. And let me send a picture of this. Looks like these cigarettes are manufactured by P.J. Carroll and Company in Dundalk, Ireland.
I think the store clerk said that they had like some kind of Irish accent or something.
Yeah.
It was actually, if you look at the manifest, we know exactly who the 3 students were. There was 3 students with Sebastian. There's actually 4, but one of them was a laborer, and his name's crossed out. So, but I think it's the handout too.
Oh yeah.
Those 3 young students, or laborer, I guess, in Marco's part.
Marco.
The one that died. No, Mickey's the one that died. The student. Yeah,
No,
I mean that's my suspicion.
So Marco died,
Marco?
and you're looking for Mickey Spill.
Okay, right. That's what I thought, because it kind of makes sense that the only one who's not a student out of the 3 is dead.
Right.
That's what I was thinking earlier. Sorry, I think Stella would share all that. I kind of just regurgitated it out, but
Rebecca, give me a luck roll. Actually, sorry, make that a spot hidden roll. If you've already rolled the luck, that's fine. If you,
I will roll a spot hidden.
Yeah, give me a spot hidden roll.
Oh, barely.
Barely. Does Rebecca smoke?
I don't think she would.
You don't smoke, but you, maybe was it Doug Wolf? Is he the?
Yeah, Douglas Wolf.
He smoked, and but he smoked hand-rolled cigarettes, and so the smell of cigarettes is something special to you. And when you were in the hardware store, you noticed that smell, and you noticed the cigarettes, and you did not notice any cigarettes in yellow packaging. You don't believe this came from Holbringer's general store.
So I'm thinking maybe if they were Irish, and the cigarettes are also like made from Ireland, they could have like brought them with them or something.
Yeah, sure. And so they could have been brought back from Ireland. Absolutely. I think that's.
I think we're on the right path.
Yeah.
Sorry, I cannot do a woman's voice.
From here, where do you head to? Do you head to the home that the professor has rented?
We're like kind of right next to the woods, right?
Yeah.
I kind of want to look around in the woods just to see if there's anything that like maybe could be like hidden.
Give me a spot hidden roll. Ooh, nice. As you walk along the edge of the woods, you sense movement in front of you. When you look up, you see this.
Oh.
You see a group of a trio of figures wearing hooded brown robes with strange symbols embroidered along the hems. All the figures wield wicked-looking daggers, double-bladed. A noise from behind you alerts you to the presence of 3 more figures. You are surrounded. One of the figures in front of you speaks in a refined but distinct Irish accent. You're messing with forces you cannot begin to comprehend. Turn away from your current course, unless you want to suffer the same fate as all those aboard the Champagne.
Do I recognize any of the symbols on their...
Give me an
coats?
occult roll.
Oh,
Nice.
that's your bread and butter.
Wow.
know.
So that is an extreme success. So yes, you do. In fact, you recognize the symbols as symbols that were on the fragment of the scroll of Zivon that was given to you by that woman on the SS Champagne. Not the symbol of Agron, the beast, but the other symbols that were on here. I don't think I had a picture of it, but this is, you recognize this as being a symbol of the people trying to stop the beast.
Okay.
In fact, give me an intelligence roll as well, with a bonus die because you did so well on your occult check.
Awesome.
Wow.
Nice.
So that's a critical success. I was going to say, you remember that the woman that gave you that scroll on the ship, she was Irish. But because you nailed that with a 0-1, you remember her name was Michelle O'Shaughnessy.
Yeah.
Professor, give me either a spot hidden or a medicine roll.
Second. All right. No.
Oh, do you want to push that roll?
Are we entering combat? What's going on?
Possibly. They're basically telling you, what did they say? You're messing with forces you cannot begin to comprehend. Turn away from your current course unless you want to suffer the same fate as all those aboard the SS Champagne.
Right. Well, to me, I feel like the most reasonable course of action is pulling out my gun.
Ooh,
So
nice. Okay, you draw your gun.
that should be enough of a statement for now.
What does Rory do?
Well, I think him seeing that there's... he could probably definitely recognize when a fight's gonna start, so he's gonna start backing up and maybe have his hand on his gun.
Okay, on your new gun. What would Stella do?
Yeah, I think Stella would probably, because I mean, if the professor's aware, we're all aware. Stella's like lockstep with the professor, and she also has a revolver, if I'm not mistaken.
She does.
She's had to use it before.
Are we like a firing squad?
Right.
Both of us?
Exactly.
It's
it's like you got quite a crew here.
It's like the Inglorious Bastards, like all of a sudden roll
Hell
into
yes.
town. What is anyone like firing, or are you just trying to be threatening with your guns?
I mean, they have Rebecca surrounded, right?
Yeah,
gotta
there's
say
3 in
something at
front of
least.
you and
Action
3
has to be
behind you.
taken. I mean, yeah.
Rebecca, do you draw a gun at this time? You don't have a gun.
I don't have a gun.
What do you do? All of a sudden, like, you hear guns being pulled out, people are holding knives.
Yeah, so I also noticed that they had, you said double-edged?
Double-edged,
knives?
yes.
And that's what the guy was murdered with?
Yes, so you know, in fact, from that newspaper article that he was killed by a double-edged blade, which,
Yeah.
and the woman said it wasn't like a fishing knife or a hunting knife or a kitchen knife. It had blades on both sides, like this dagger in that picture. So it's possible that's what did it.
Yeah, I think they definitely killed the guy.
And the guy that they killed, just kind of asking Rebecca, would she think that Marco Torres was a good guy or a bad guy?
I mean, you said that these people were like against the summoning of the beast.
If it's related to Michelle, she seemed to be helpful, wanting to stop the beast. And she was Irish and had the same symbol that you just saw on these robes.
Okay.
So maybe when they said, give me a psychology roll with 2 bonus die,
Awesome.
because you're putting these pieces together. So what he said was, you're messing with forces you cannot begin to comprehend. Now, people could take that as saying you're interfering with what we're trying to do. But you understand it as the same way that Michelle said, there's something at work here that is terrible. And then this person told you, turn away from your current course unless you want to suffer the same fate as all those aboard the SS Champagne. Not realizing that this might be related to Michelle or these people, you might say they're threatening to kill us. But Michelle, she tried to save you, and so maybe they're saying, don't dig any further or you will be at risk of a terrible death, not at our hands, but at the hands of Agron, or whatever comes next.
I'm gonna ask them if they're like in league with Michelle.
You mentioned the name Michelle.
Yeah.
You need to this is going to be a social skill, so either charm, persuade, fast talk. I wouldn't do intimidate, because everyone else has knives and guns.
Right.
But you get a bonus die because you mentioned the name Michelle.
This feels like an Inglourious Bastards moment.
Right.
We're in the bar, like the tension is high. Oh.
Someone's going to say Auf Wiedersehen to your Nazi balls. It's coming right now. So.
Oh, that is... Oh, gosh.
Here we go. So you got it. So what exactly does Rebecca say to this person? Using Michelle's name.
Yeah, I'll just say, Michelle O'Shaughnessy, she also knew of these beasts that you're warning me against. Are you in league with Michelle O'Shaughnessy?
You might be saying that, and the person in front of you lowers their hood. The name's Tobias O'Shaughnessy. I'm Michelle's brother. We form an order, the Order of the Stone. The purpose of our order is to see that Agron Talan Soth is no longer unleashed upon this earth. If you know Michelle, then you've met Agron.
Indeed.
Agron is but 1/3 of the terrible beast. Next comes Agron Talan, and then Agron Talan Soth. Michelle told me that Agron went down with the champagne. You know that cannot kill him. He is not dead. Agron survived. It seems we are on the same side, although perhaps we go about things a little differently. I can help you if you promise to stay out of our way. I owe it to Michelle. You saved her life, let me save yours.
Well, we probably don't want to go around killing people, so if that means, getting in your way, maybe we could work out some kind of agreement.
I think we want the same thing. Perhaps this will help. And he gives you, and I'm going to give it to the professor as well, the second fragment of the scroll of the order, or the scroll of Zyvon.
Ooh, awesome.
So if we look at this scroll is written on parchment and illuminated like similar religious texts of the time. The fragment is carried in a leather-covered wooden map case sealed with bone caps. Each cap is carved with the order's sigil, which you recognize as being all over their robes. The scroll reveals more about, and this scroll is from roughly 1250 AD. It's, 700, almost 700 years old at this time. And this scroll fragment reveals more about the Druid's mission to protect the world against Agran Talan Soth. Having learned that the creature was susceptible to fire, the Druids devised a spell to combat it with magical flames, as detailed within this scroll. Yet they soon learned that while fire could destroy the monster's physical forms, it did not destroy its fundamental essences, meaning those who knew the summoning ritual could reconstruct the creature at the next new moon. Thus destroying its physical body was only a temporary solution. A more permanent one was required, and then whatever came after that is missing. So this contains a spell. If you want to, if Rebecca or the professor want to try to learn this spell, you can do a quick read of the fragment and potentially learn that spell.
Yeah, I will definitely do that.
Then if you go on your character sheet, I believe you can click on the second fragment of the scroll. Double click it, and then it should say initial reading. You can click on that initial reading. So
Oh, wow.
Both of us, right?
Both of you. So, Rebecca, you gain 3 Cthulhu Mythos points.
Cool.
Your maximum sanity will also drop by 3.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Professor, you were exposed to a traumatic event. You lose 8 sanity.
What?
Whoa.
Is that
Oh, wow.
Can't you only lose like 5?
Yeah, so...
Yeah, 5 is a temporary insanity, right?
Yes, so as
At
I
once, I should say.
apply this to you, you're now at 8 out of 11. So the professor, as you read this, what you held to be true is terrifying to you. That these things are truly horrible. And you have a temporary bout of insanity. I'm going to have you roll a 1d10 for me. A 7. Flee in panic. You are compelled to flee, traveling for 1d10 rounds. So you hand the scroll to Rebecca, and you just start running through the woods. Let me see how long you are going to be running for.
I'm imagining just calmly handing it over, and then just sprinting.
It's like, here, hold this,
perfect.
and then this little
Yeah.
shriek. Ah! For
the
7
one
rounds.
last shred.
So for about a
Oh.
minute, you're just sprinting through the woods. In fact, as you're running through the woods, you feel like you're overheating, and you're just like shedding clothing. So your jacket comes off, and your vest, you're unbuttoning your shirt, your bow tie goes flying. By the time your bout of madness is over, you're standing there in boxers, and you probably have like those sock suspenders, like that hold your socks up, and you've got your Oxford loafers, sock suspenders, and your boxer trunks, and you're just standing there in the woods, just shivering, just shaken to the core with what this means. For Rebecca, this was no big deal. She's like, "Oh yeah, I'm down with this.
Yeah.
That's great." You both are going to have access to spells. Let me dump these spells in here for you. The first is called Thine Skin Be as a Beast Hide. Dump in there. this way. And then the second is called Call Forth a Howling Fire. Call forth a howling fire. There we go. And thine skin be as beast hide. And so again, the first time you cast this, you have to make a casting roll. And it's a hard power roll. And if you succeed, the spell goes off. Thine skin be as beast hide grants protection against physical attack. Each magic point spent gives the caster or the chosen target 1d6 points of armor against non-magical attacks. This protection wears off as it blocks damage. For example, if you're given 12 points of beast hide and you're hit for 8 points of damage, the beast hide would be reduced to 4 points and the person would take no damage. And it lasts for 24 hours.
That's pretty strong.
Yeah, so it's like amazing, basically armor for your characters. There's a cost to it. It takes 5 rounds to cast, and you lose 1d4 sanity every time you cast it, because you're tampering with powers best left covered up. And then you decide how many magic points you want to pump into it. The other spell is Call Forth a Howling Fire. This spell creates a large, howling blue flame at a point indicated by the caster up to 100 feet away. Flammable materials and objects at that location immediately catch fire. Those witnessing the flame or hearing its unearthly howls for the first time must make a sanity roll. The flame inflicts 1d6 points of damage, plus an additional d6 points per round the target remains on fire. Alternatively, you may create a sigil at a particular location that ignites the flame if it is disturbed, touched, or passed over. The sigil does not have to be visible to be triggered. In that case, the target gets a spot hidden roll. If they see it, they can make a dex roll or jump to try and get away, only suffering half damage. But basically, it's a magical fire spell that you know would probably be useful against Agron or whatever Agron is slowly becoming. Let me get this closed up. So these people, the Order of the Stone, they kind of turn and they watch the professor as he runs shrieking into the woods. You know, his clothes flying off, birds, scattering to the four winds. They put their knives away. They sense that you are not a threat to them. Indeed, perhaps you can work together. If Michelle saw fit to give you the first fragment of the scroll, it seems like they are willing to work with you. Professor, it has now been 7 rounds, which is like a minute and a half or so, and you stop, and you're deep in the woods. It's dark. You have no light. You start to shiver. You look back, and you can see some of your clothes hanging off of a tree branch. What do you do?
I'll start picking up some of my clothing sheepishly.
It's going to be awkward when you come back into the clearing. Hey, guys.
Yeah, but also I'm going to assume that the reason I took so much sanity damage was because this clashed against my ideology.
Yes.
The fact that this godlike being, and my ideology, I think I said was my strongest characteristic or something like that.
Yeah, you find religion fascinating and often marvel at the lengths cultures will go in order to maintain religious beliefs. And then you said, I, as yet, am not a believer. Have you become a believer?
I believe this will change something.
I love that. So I'm going to change your backstory here. And I'm going to change it so it says, after reading the scroll fragments, I am now a believer. Awesome. So now whenever you read something about ancient peoples that, did strange things in the name of religion, you now think, what if it was part of this? And what if there is more out there beyond even this?
And to me, I'll feel some fear in becoming some type of zealot, because now I understand how they become zealots.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, this is how zealots are not born, zealots are made. And I need to reduce your maximum sanity because your Cthulhu mythos went up to 4. And so you reduce that from your maximum sanity, which is always from 99. So now your sanity can never go above 95. But if you lose 3 more points of sanity today, you will become indefinitely insane. So a good night's rest will recover you from this bout of madness. You're quite shaken. The professor comes back into the clearing. While he was gone, the rest of the order, they spoke with you at length about kind of what is going on. They agree to let you continue with your inquiry since you're clearly on the right track. They will meet up with you again. They have to be cautious because they are wanted for murder of Marco Torres, as Rebecca clearly discovered.
Yeah.
And so they're doing their best to stay hidden in the woods, but they were making a plan to leave. However, upon seeing you come out to the murder site, it put a halt to their plans to leave under cover of nightfall. But they let you know that they will be in touch soon and hope that perhaps you can be safe from this creature, but he fears that you have already been marked by this beast, and no matter what, it will come for you all.
That's unsettling.
Do you go to the bed and breakfast for pie?
I think I would like some pie after all of that.
That should regain 1 sanity for everyone.
It will. Everyone.
Yeah. Stella was
Absolutely.
telling everybody about the great offer. Kind lady.
So you
Don't gossip with her.
you make your way back to the bed and breakfast where Miss Armand is there waiting with pie. It's going to
Butterscotch cinnamon.
Yes, and in fact, and she's got ice cream as well. She went to the store, the general store, and bought ice cream just because she was excited for William and Stella. And it's seeing Stella and her friends. She is more than excited to share the pie with you. Professor, you can regain 1 sanity point from that. And has anyone else? I don't think anyone else has lost sanity today.
Rory lost 1.
Rory, you can recover 1 as well. Let me go to the courthouse really quick. At the sheriff's office.
William is going to be so sad when Stella catches him up on what he missed.
Hey, guess what happened? So there are 3 internal doors down at the courthouse, neatly painted signs on frosted glass panels, and each tell you where they lead: the sheriff's office, the coroner, and the mortuary. A small bell rings as you open the door to the sheriff's office. Behind it lies a cramped room containing 2 large desks and several filing cabinets. Behind the desks, a closed door is marked with a sign that says jail. The desks have their own signs: Sheriff Barrett and Deputy Osland. A skinny young white man sits behind the desk marked Osland. He pops up from his chair a moment after you enter, smooths his deputy uniform, and nods. Can I help you?
Yeah, it's a pleasure. You the deputy around here?
Yeah, I'm the law while the sheriff is away.
Can I get like a I don't know, like a physical analysis of him? What age do I think he is?
He's very young.
Yeah.
You are his senior by quite a bit. He's 27, but he looks like he's about 22. Like he looks like he's fresh out of the academy kind of.
27 years old though, in 1925. That's pretty old.
That's pretty old. Yeah. People in their 40s look like
For a
they
young
were 80,
man. Yeah.
So. You get a sense that he is one of these people that loves to have a gun and a badge. It just gives him a sense of empowerment. He's probably not great at what he does. He's working in a small town. He's probably, not Dick Tracy, but he's definitely motivated and inspired to do police work. Whether or not it's good police work, who knows?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I work with it's not called the FBI yet at this point in time.
Right.
But it's basically the FBI. I've met the type.
Yeah. Do you flash your badge?
Yeah. I think that was probably the first thing I do. A pleasure to meet you, Mr. Osland, Deputy. I'm here with. I'm here from Boston.
Oh, give me an
Then I show him
intimidation
my
roll.
badge. Oh, nice. The badge is on my holster, so that does it. It's pretty cool. I like that.
I like that.
And he respects the badge.
And the fact that you're from Boston, from the big city. Oh yeah, yes. Welcome to Greyport. What do you Beantown boys need? If you're here for the murder, we got it all under hand. We know who done it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can understand. I've obviously got questions about that. Appreciate you cutting right to the chase. But you know who did it? You've got a name?
Well, we know it was an outsider, someone, a vagrant traveling through. We're pretty sure. It's this guy
I mean, that
named,
doesn't sound like you know who did it.
Well, all right. The sheriff knows who did it. I just do the paperwork, and you get a sense that he is just grasping at straws. Like he wants to act all tough and in the know, but like immediately he wilts under your stern gaze.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, pal. I mean, obviously, you know why I'm here, but I'm gonna have to talk to the sheriff. You know when I might be able to see him next? I know it's pretty late. I apologize for the late hour. You know, big city coming and just stepping on your toes.
Oh yeah. He'll be back in the morning. If you don't mind coming back first thing after breakfast, he'll be here.
Yeah, sounds about right. Sounds like it's about time for pie, actually, from Miss Armand. Lovely lady.
She's the best. Just don't go telling her none of your police secrets, because it'll get all over town.
Oh yeah, you'd know the rules around here, I suppose.
Yeah, we can't tell her nothing about no murder, and it happened right over by her place too. Kind of crazy, no one saw.
Yeah. I mean, that is well. You think someone would have heard something at least? It sounded like pretty brutal, didn't it?
It did. Oh goodness! You should have seen the body. Huge gaping wound in the chest. It wasn't no accident.
Well, yeah, I suppose. I mean, you're a tough guy. You would have seen this, right? Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, I should have figured. Well, I mean, Can I ask you some questions about it?
Yeah. Go for it.
Yeah, what was was it ferocious, this attack? Was it surgical? You know what I mean? Like
it was
he stabbed
bloodthirsty. Is I think what the way I described it to the local newspaper. Bloodthirsty attack. This person, it wasn't just a crime of passion. It wasn't just a robbery. This person was out for blood. They knew right where to strike. They knew just how to kill a person. This was a practiced hand. You could tell. There was no hesitation. One plunging strike with the blade, blood everywhere. Severed the aorta right off the top of the heart.
Oh, that's either extreme luck or pretty precise. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You should have seen the body just over next door in the morgue. Whew. I'm telling you, it was like a surgeon went at it.
Yeah. I suppose it'll be it'd definitely be something to look at, check out, talk to the coroner.
Oh yeah. Well,
That'll all be
they
closed,
ain't in
I
right
guess.
now. Yeah. You got to go by in the morning.
Yeah.
There might be an orderly there now, but just doing paperwork.
Yeah. I suppose you do a lot about paperwork.
Oh, let me tell you, that's all I do here. I signed up to go catch criminals, and all I do is file papers.
It's the age-old story. I mean, I'm up with the bureau. It's the same damn thing. It's,
I know.
90% paperwork. It's pretty rough.
I hear you. Anyway, speaking of paperwork, I should probably get back to it. We got all sorts of important things going on here. This ain't no hick town. No, we got a big murder. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I can't tell you what else is going on. It's all under investigation. But I don't want to trouble you with all the big major crimes we got going on here in town.
Yeah, of course. Small place. It is big news. I'm sure you're busy round the clock.
Yeah. We need extra hands here. Any day now we're gonna get people sent up, help us out here. We need like roving patrols.
Oh, that sounds smart. I'm sure you've told that to the sheriff. I might just mention it if I get to speak to him.
I'll mention it to him for you. You don't need to mention it.
Oh, generous. Yeah, well, I would certainly tell him it was your idea. Don't worry about anything like that.
All right. He looks like he's going to be in trouble now. But he's been in trouble before, so.
Yeah. I think I'd clap him on the shoulder. Oh, thanks for your service, pal. I'll let you get back to it.
Oh yeah. And then he actually pulls out his pistol and starts polishing it and kind of fogging it up a little bit.
Ooh,
polishing
what kind of
it
pistol
up.
is it? Can I compare it? Is mine cooler?
What do you have?
I've got the 45.
Yours is bigger.
Semi-auto.
Yeah, he's got a 38, so yours is
Yeah.
bigger. And he kind of
just
looks
needed
at
to
it and
get
he's
that,
like, ooh,
yeah.
and looks down at
Yeah.
his and.
Yeah, this thing saw action in the war.
Oh yeah, I've actually never fired. I mean, this one. Oh yeah, I've helped out all sorts of investigations and arrests and whatnot with this one, and it's you can tell based on the grease still on the gun, it's never even been fired.
What a guy. I think I sympathize. I'm not trying to taunt him too much.
You've probably been there yourself at some point.
Yeah, and I know the type. These young men, all it takes is one thing to happen, and he might rise to the challenge.
Right.
So I try to encourage him a little. I mean, yeah. I say I try to encourage him, but no, I'm just leaving. But in my mind, I'm like, go get him, pal.
Nice.
He might do something in the future.
At some point, it turns out his name is actually J. Edgar Hoover or something. Like he's going to be your boss one day.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get him in with the bureau. Yeah, I'll write his name down. I'll give him my card. I've got a card.
Oh yeah.
Stella.
He's going to tell the
agency,
story
so.
about the time he worked a case with a bureau agent. That's going to be something he tells his grandchildren.
Yeah, I think he deserves that. I'll give him that.
Even though working the case was just answering a couple of questions.
Yeah, not even helpfully. I knew immediately I wasn't going to get any good answers, but, I actually did get a little bit out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was good. You played into my angle of flattering him really well.
That was awesome. Anything else
Time
you
for
want
pie.
to do here? Go head back for pie?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I was thinking about just sneaking into the morgue, but I think we'll just go back for pie.
You probably have enough information. I think the fact that you guys know that you need to go to the Barnes residence, that's pretty much.
Yeah. I mean,
what you
we've got
needed to
so
get out of
much
this.
to do already. Yeah.
So you go back for pie. You guys all kind of compare notes about what happened. We've got about half an hour left in the session. If you guys want to go to the Barnes residence the next morning, we can probably finish Act 2 tonight.
Everything is pointing there. I don't know if you guys got any plans, but I've done everything I plan to do.
Anything else anyone else wanted to do? I mean, Rory, you were looking for a job. Do you want to help out with the Barnes investigation, or what would you do?
I might need to show up for that. It'd be a shame if I lost that, but then this is pretty important. It seems like this might be some way to bring closure to...
Well, the Barnes place is probably only 20 minutes up the road. You go there, first light, come back after breakfast, and...
Professor's also a big money man.
Stick with that.
Oh, yeah.
You could always, strong arm him a little.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he could give him a bribe, get you hired on.
Sorry, Professor.
Yeah, you're spending the professor's money.
Nah, you're good. I have tons of money.
You have a good night's rest. Everyone except for the professor. Your night's rest is a little bit troubled. All you can think about is your discoveries. The scroll. All these things are pointing to a reality that you had no concept was even there. And when sleep finally takes you, it is troubled. But your bout of madness is gone.
Right.
And your daily sanity loss is reset as well. And everyone else's, I think everyone else has all their sanity back.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Let me just double check. Yep. Okay. The next morning, do you travel up to the Barnes residence?
Well, I would think so, yeah.
Let me move you all to Barnes Bay. Looks like William is the last
Yeah,
one to
mine
crawl out of bed
always
here.
likes to hang at 98. It's with Dragonbane and everything I've done on Foundry. It's typical. I have fine internet too, so I don't know why it does it, but it will load. I have faith.
I think it just picks one person and just says, "Hey, you're going to go last." So there's a map here of a bay. I'll just get my notes ready. You can start describing it as soon as you get pulled in there. Yeah, so it's about 20 minutes to get to Lucas Barnes' home, and you have the address. You spot a mailbox with the name Barnes painted on it with white paint. A dirt track to Barnes' place leads down through the bluffs to a small bay. Tucked below the cliffs are a small one-story house and a small shed. A jetty juts out into the water where an old fishing boat is moored. The boat lists at a slight angle, as if resting on the bottom of the bay. The track ends in a graveled area between the house and the jetty. You see no vehicles. A few wooden boxes lie scattered about, and there is a stack of crates at the landward end of the dock. The windows of the house are dark. The whole place has an abandoned feel to it. Rory, seeing the boat, give me a spot hidden roll. As you head over towards the boat, you see that there's tire tracks in the graveled area. It looks like a heavy truck was here recently. What's more, a thin coating of black ichor runs from where the truck was parked towards the house. Give me a sanity roll. You've seen this before. Oh. But it doesn't bother you much at all. You only lose 1 point. You notice then that the ichor runs along the edge of a grass path, down the jetty, and onto that boat that's listing onto its side.
Well, I'll point this discovery out.
William bites. That he knows Erica well. I mean, he was the first one to really get poked by it a little. So,
yeah. Give me a sanity roll as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, it works either way.
Oh, you are going to lose. I think it's 1d3. Let me roll that. One point. 1 point of... Boy, so far only the professor has taken like the huge sanity loss here. You see this black trail running... Looks like it runs from the house to the boat or back and forth, you're not sure, but it runs across that gravel track.
Ooh, can we do some tracking?
You can. Give me a track roll.
Could I suggest that Stella do the track roll?
Yeah, let's have Stella do the track roll.
That is kind of like her. She's like the finding the clues and stuff. I'm just good at spot hidden, but I'm not like disguising and sneaking. Well, actually, I'm really good at sneaking.
It's like, Stella, go check out that boat that's listed on its side over there.
You know where the direction of this is coming from, darling. I can't make hide nor hair of it.
She looks at the tracks and she can identify based on the push of the gravel that this trail started from the boat and went to the house.
All right.
Rory, give me a pilot boat roll as you look at the boat. Nice. You see that the boat is damaged, and you see the words on here, Southern Winds. This is Lucas Barnes' boat. There are scrapes all down one side of it. You see that the damage has been caused by it being tied up to another larger vessel or to a dock during a storm. And given that the boat's keel now rests on the bottom of the bay, you know that there must be more damage somewhere below the waterline. You suspect that the damage is beyond repair.
I'm gonna follow the trail.
Give me a sanity roll as you see that as well.
Oh,
Oh no.
Oh, you're gonna lose some sanity. 3. Nice. The the trail leads right into the house.
Does it continue when it's in the house? Like lead to somewhere?
You go into the house?
Yes, I do.
I'm following right behind. By I mean William. I suppose Stella
Stella
would,
would go with you.
naturally be following. She might even be ahead of me just because she's,
I'm gonna give.
she followed the tracks
I'm gonna
very
give
well.
Stella a sanity roll, and Professor, go ahead and give me one as well, as it all begins to fall into place that what you thought was destroyed is potentially still alive. Stella will lose 1.
Right, 1 second. I don't have my sprite on screen, so
I can get it for you if I need to.
it's okay. I found sanity roll.
Oh, nice. You will just lose 1 point of sanity. Let's go into the house.
Honestly, I think the loading bar, because I was looking and it didn't even, it started at 98. So I think it just says 98, but it's actually just doing the whole loading.
Oh, right.
And not telling me what it's at. It's probably at like 70 or something.
Let me see. I might be able to preload. Let me see if I can preload the. Yeah, I can maybe preload the next scene. That may help you.
Not the biggest inconvenience. It just feels awkward for you guys.
No, it's okay. It takes me a second to get my notes up and read it. Not a worry at all. When you enter the house, it appears to be a single large room. It is littered with trash. A couch stands to one side of the room, and a table and chairs are tucked into a corner close to the door. The table's surface is covered in empty bottles, bits of paper, and other debris. At the far side of the room is a fireplace. A charred old pot sits there on cold embers, evidence that the fire was used for both cooking and warmth. Empty food and beer cans litter the floor all around it. In the back corner is an unmade bed covered with dirty sheets. More bits of paper are scattered on a bedside table next to it. Several piles of blankets in the other back corner suggest more than one person slept here recently. A trap door sits open in the middle of the floor, suggesting there is another room beneath this one.
I'm gonna check out the trap door. That's kind of interesting to me.
Okay, what is everyone else doing?
Trapdoor. I want to, I guess William's kind of I want to just do a vague overview of the room. Is there anything large that's seems immediately under? I know it's a huge mess, but does anything stand out? That's my idea.
It's a huge mess, but one thing stands out on the table. You find a paper, and this looks like this might be important. The handwriting seems to match handwriting that you have seen before. Let me make this observable to everyone.
This place does look like students lived here. Jeez.
Right? There, that should show up in the list of handouts. This, you did such a good job reading the last handout, I'm going to let you read this one too.
Oh boy, I had wondered when you said this handwriting. Did you share it? Because I'm not... Oh, okay, it's handout 6.
Yep, it's in the handouts.
Oh wow, okay. It's still loading for me, sorry.
Okay, that's okay.
It's mostly way done. Alright. Power in the holding. Must gain control. Egran is hungry. Talon is restless. They need soth. Flesh only sustains them until the fuel of agony of their form runs its course. The end of the trail is the final arm. Casting of the third ritual. Final urn. Casting of the third ritual ends the callousness of pain and betrayal. Soth must awake. The voice of Soth is persistent, always angry, wanting more, needing release, and craving the fury of Talon. Agran eats again if time of sundering of three is not collapsed into the void of eternal bliss. Talon has shown me the lees. Lees? Lays, like ley lines.
Like ley lines,
yeah,
exactly.
Okay. Talon has shown me the lays. They converge on Chapaktaw Ridge. The third urn shatters there in that lost and forgotten place, in the light of the great blood moon. And finally, Agran Talon Soth is whole once more. Glory to the tripartite beast. Peace on earth finally, through the consumption of all pain and all humanity, for the good of itself and its children.
Give me a sanity roll as you read this. Ooh, you just lose 1 point.
All in a day's work. Nice,
Well
69.
Done. Well done. The basement. So, as you're checking the rest of the house, that's the only thing of interest that you find. The rest is all trash. Rebecca, you open up that trap door, or sorry, it's already open, but you peer down into the basement, and we'll see if this preloaded. I sent the command to preload it, so it should. Yeah, pulled you right to it. Look at that.
Oh wow.
So did that take you right there, William?
Yeah, there was no loading,
Awesome.
as I could tell.
So that I can try and remember to do that. I will try and pull everyone, or preload the scene for everyone. It should make it much easier. It'll load like as we're talking and doing stuff. Whoops, we don't need two Rorys. Okay. What do we got here? A wooden staircase leads down into a small basement that stinks of alcohol, bodily waste, and death. The room is even more wrecked than the one upstairs. The remains of broken crates, barrels, and bottles lie in heaps in each corner, spattered with black ichor. The rest of the room has been cleared out. A huge, familiar-looking symbol fills the floor's center, surrounded by the trampled remains of candles and ritual paraphernalia. A hideous sight completes the tableau. Strung from chains from the ceiling above, the bloody sigil is the naked body of a man in his 60s. His stomach has been ripped open, and his intestines lie beneath him on the floor in a pool of blood and black ichor. The remains of a smashed urn lie among them. Everyone, please give me a sanity roll.
Oh.
Oh, let me roll for Stella. On a success, you will lose 1 point. Rory and Rebecca will lose three points. So William, Stella, and the professor will lose 1. Rory and Rebecca will lose 3 points. Excellent. William, give me an intelligence roll. It doesn't take a detective to surmise that this old man hanging from chains is likely the house's owner, Lucas Barnes.
Well, yeah, I suppose I would share that. This is the guy we're looking for, I'm afraid. This is going to have to be Mr. Barnes. Is there anything I can see on his body, like immediately, besides for the fact he was obviously brutally murdered? He's on a pentagram, obviously. Is there any other kind of like...
So he's strung from chains above, the pentagram. As you get
a very specific
close,
shape too.
I know, right? As you get close, give me a spot hidden roll. Excellent. So you notice the sigil concealed beneath the blood and ichor on his chest. Now, you had not read the scroll fragment that was recently given to the professor and to Rebecca. In fact, you weren't there when they saw it. They would have recognized this as the same sigil that calls forth a howling fire. You need to give me a dexterity roll or a jump roll to avoid the howling blue flames that burst from the sigil as it ignites.
But not dodge. It is dexterity.
Dexterity or jump. Yep. Dexterity is
Okay,
probably way easier.
Yeah, almost certainly. I did not put many points into jump. I'm still looking, but... Okay, oh, yeah, no.
Nice. So you are going to take some damage.
No.
Only 1 point of damage. And
Damn it, it burned my coat.
let's get some better music in here. Because something else happens. Let me send a picture.
Sorry, just before I have to go somewhere. Just want to let you know. Right.
Do we want to end now? Like, will you be coming back, or are you...
No.
Okay, let me just kind of explain what happens, and then this will be a perfect stopping place. Have you got like 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Perfect. So let me drop
Thank you.
drop a
Sorry
picture.
about that.
No problem. The body and the gory pool beneath it erupt in a howling blue flame. The corpse's eyes snap open. It howls, too. Black smoke billows from its mouth, twisting and writhing to become thick black tentacles studded with chitinous barbs. It pulls down hard on the chains holding it suspended, and the ceiling begins to buckle. With a sickening, splintering noise, huge chunks of wood and plaster are ripped from above as the flaming corpse frees itself. The creature lands awkwardly, but soon finds its footing. It lurches forward, flailing at you as it burns. This is a minion of Agran Talan. Everyone, please make a sanity roll. And then this is where we will end it. Let me roll for Stella, and then I'll tell you what the
Oh, boy.
losses are.
That thing is terrifying.
Yeah.
So, if you pass, it is, you lose 1. If you failed,
Oh, no.
you will lose only 1. Whew.
That's lucky. Can you imagine if I went insane right
Right?
in front of the fucking monster? Oh, that was scary.
Nice. So it looks like only Rebecca Shadow. Have I got everyone on there? No, William. Do I have your sanity roll, William?
Yeah, I failed it.
Oh, you failed it. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. So then you and Stella will both lose 1. And then that is where we will end it for the night. So we will end on this battle. As this minion of Agran Talan, let me drag you all into the room. Well, let's see. We'll put the professor and Rebecca were on the stairs. William was kind of over by the body. I'm going to assume Stella's kind of checking out the body with you.
Yeah.
Let me drag this guy out of here.
All right. Nice playing with you guys. See you guys
Yeah.
later.
Yep, next
Good game,
Tuesday,
good
same
game.
time.
Yep.
Awesome. Thanks, Hassan. We'll see
Bye.
ya. Excellent. And that is a perfect place to stop. If you guys want to do your developmental roles, I'm going to leave this for Hassan. He can do his at the start of next turn, and for Stella. She can do hers at the start of next turn. But if you guys want to do yours, I can turn on development mode.
Yeah, I would appreciate that. I'm totally cool for not doing it. We are like right before a fight, but it is nice at the end of a session.
Yeah, it's kind of a reward for getting through the session. So I'll go ahead and turn that on so that if you guys just want to click that development mode button, it will make those improvement rolls for all the skills that you have passed. So Rebecca's occult went up by 1%. Wow. So William's intimidation, law, persuade, psychology, and spot hidden all went up. Your intimidation went up by 10%.
Yeah, that's huge. 75 now.
Nice. What about for Rory? You see where to click on that?
Yeah.
I mean, geez, my spot hidden's
Nothing.
82 now.
Oh, nice.
So Rory got a whole lot of nothing out of that. Excellent. So let's just kind of see where we are situationally wise. So William, you are down. Well, actually, I can turn off development.
That could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, that could have been really bad. You're
I could
down.
have gone insane. I could have taken a lot of damage. Yeah.
So you're 10 sanity points, which you're probably okay there. 11 hit points. That's
I mean, honestly, when monster can do 15 damage on a
Right.
lucky hit, like
So this one is
ultimately-
not as bad as the last one. So the last one was Agrin, like this supernatural being. This is kind of an undead minion that it has created from the remains of Lucas Barnes. Stella has 7 hit points. The professor he's got 12. So I don't think sanity is going to be an issue. It's probably going to be hit points. Okay, never mind. So Rebecca, she can only lose 4 more before she goes indefinitely insane.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
great.
So
Oh wow.
you've got some spells. So there's this new one, this Call Forth the Howling Fire. The problem is if you try to cast it, I think there is a sanity cost
Yeah, that's what I thought.
with that, and if you lost, you could lose up to 4, and if you lost 4, you'd go indefinitely
Yeah.
insane. But you know that's probably going to do a lot of damage. You've also got your Breath of the Dark Sea that could help you to hide, like if you needed to get away. And then Rory, thankfully you've got a gun, even though you're not particularly skilled with a gun, and you've got a lot of hit points. You're sitting pretty good. So we're going to start the next session with a combat. We'll start, in the action. That fire that lashed out actually has ignited some of the wooden rafters on fire, and so the house is beginning to catch fire. So you probably can't stay here too long, especially you don't want to be in a basement while the ceiling above you is burning. So any questions before we sign off for the night?
No, I guess we got a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, it's going to start out, with a
Hopefully
house
I
on
can
fire.
quick draw,
so.
I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I would assume that you probably had your gun out when you went down into this basement.
Yeah, I mean, this is a dead body.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't able to clear the room, so
Yeah.
it's a fucking mess. Who
First
knows
thing
where
you
anybody
do
could
is
be?
hand on your pistol, checking the corners. There could be people hiding under all the trash. Yeah. So it's...
Yeah, I probably had my gun out the whole time. I probably had it out while I was reading that note. Like, you don't clear a house and just be like hanging out. This is a serious business.
Oh yeah. You want it in hand. Probably once you guys saw that black streak, you probably had your gun. Or probably before, you
Yeah.
knew you were going here, and this guy is, linked
It was very
to Professor
suspicious.
Sebastian.
Someone was making orders in his name. Like,
Yep.
they
Oh,
hadn't
yeah.
been heard from in a while. Yeah.
Absolutely. Any pressing questions or concerns before we sign off?
I don't think so.
Okay. We will... I'm thinking we've got 2 more sessions left. I thought that by tonight we might finish this combat. This combat is the end of Act 2, so we're pretty much done with Act 2. And then we've probably got 2 more sessions to finish the whole campaign. So we'll do next Tuesday, and then probably the Tuesday after, and I think that's going to do it, but we'll just kind of track it as it goes. So... We'll plan on that. I know I've got games, I think on Friday. Luke, I think you're in the first night in Normandy on Friday.
Yeah, I should be.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I'm running a game Saturday. I don't remember what game it is. Are you in that game as well?
Yeah, because I know I am, because a guy wanted to play Warhammer with me on the weekend, and I was like, wait, I got something on Saturday, so I have to be.
Oh,
I don't remember what it is, but I know I am.
Yeah, I'll look it up. I'll post something in the Discord, so we'll
Yeah,
get ready
thank
for
you.
those,
I should
so.
know. That's funny,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Well, you're playing in most of my games, so I figure
That's
I'll,
true, yeah,
whenever I'm
so
running
I'm-
a game, I'll probably see you. So
You
Yeah, I'm
mentioned
so
that
enthusiastic about these.
You mentioned that you just got the Path of Glory. Do you plan to run
did.
that soon?
Yeah, so for Dragonbane, so there's a campaign book called Path of Glory that I've had the book now for a while, but today the Foundry module came out, so it's got all the digital assets, and so I want to run that campaign. I think that would be awesome. That one, I guess, was one from like the early 80s in Swedish, and then they've just translated to English, and so I definitely want to run Path of Glory. And if, like, we're almost done, I think we've got one more in the Alone in Deepfall Breach. And then if you wanted to run, like, if we end up doing that, if you wanted to run Makander with all of his upgrades through that, I would let you. And I know, Henrik, you've got what's his name, Cornelius? That he's done Alone in Deepfall Breach and Sinking Tower and a few others.
Right, so,
you could run through
so
that.
this is a campaign then? This Path of Glory?
So this Path of Glory would be like a campaign. I'm not sure how many like sessions and stuff. I think it's 3 adventures kind of strung together, and each adventure is probably a session or 2. But it's a really cool looking book. So I'm hoping
I really
it's
like
awesome.
Dragonbane. The campaign we're doing ended up doing so good yesterday. We fought a demon and I did like 54 damage to it. It only took half of that, but it's crazy.
Well, and I heard you like fell and almost died from a fall.
Yeah, it was a demon that could fly, and it picked me up and dropped me at the maximum range of 9.
Dang.
So,
and it's like 1d6 per 2 meters or something like that is falling damage.
I did acrobatics, so I only took 5d6. Of course.
Nice. Well, that's still, considering you have like 14 hit points, that makes it a little tough.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I was instantly downed, but we all lived.
Yeah, and that's kind of what makes it fun. That's what I love about this game too, is you're super squishy. Like, the professor looks at a piece of paper and runs naked through the woods screaming. And,
yeah.
It's like, where'd he go?
It does just make you love him, though.
It does.
They got character. Yes.
Well, guess what his artwork's going to be. So.
Oh, perfect. Of course.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get this uploaded. I'm hoping that we'll have everybody next week, and Stella can watch this and get caught up, and we'll start right in the middle of battle, and or Clara can watch it, and then I always get the player and the character confused. But she will be here and will hopefully help take out this minion that we are facing, because he's pretty tough. He's not as bad as the last guy we fought. This is one you could probably go toe-to-toe with, but... use your bag of tricks kind of thing.
We do have a lot of guns.
Oh, we have a lot of
4
guns.
guns in this.
Yep, we've got guns and we've got magic. So,
right. Although magic is so bad in Cthulhu,
the cool part is that it costs your sanity, and like when you go to cast it, if you don't have enough magic points, it automatically rips out of your hit points. It like absorbs your life force to get that magic cost, and so you may go to cast a spell and like fumble it, and then it's gonna drain your life as it's drawing on your life essence to fuel that magic. So it's high risk, high reward with the magic system there.
I mean, I think Rebecca can cast maybe 1 spell, and even then probably not. What did she have, 4 hit points or sanity?
So she's got her mist one that like makes a fog cloud that would let you to hide or potentially escape. That one does not cost any sanity. It's just magic points. But the other one, you're going to lose sanity points as well.
And I feel like that one would be more helpful.
That would be super
the armor
helpful.
one is so strong.
Yeah, that armor one's... And the problem with that is it takes 5 rounds, so it'd be nice to have already had that cast.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one that, like, next time, like, let's, put on this armor stuff. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to get this uploaded. I'm going to start on some artwork. If there's a scene that you would want your artwork for this session, let me know, and I'll see what I can come up with. Hopefully something with William's face on a boat again.
that would be preferable.
Fantastic.
There is a boat in the Lucas Barnes boat.
Oh, there we go. I'll put his face on this little
yeah.
dinghy that's tipped
Rickety
over in the
boat.
bay.
Yeah, it's just got my face on the bottom of it.
He's just like staring into the void and just sees this ship coming out of the fog with his face on it. Like that's just terrifying. Like I made a sanity roll when I saw it. So
that's so good. I've kept that picture.
Oh, it's amazing. Like sometimes those mistakes are the best ones.